Sure.
Yeah. So I'll start. So last time you you were sent by the GoldenEye Babin to retrieve a manifesto which he wanted. He didn't really know what it was, but you came up with a devious little plan, which was very well thought out, I thought, and I could never have predicted it, which I like. Where Ember used her pyrotechnics to distract everyone for a little fireworks show, while Darian waited outside and kept an eye on Atakte, who basically went in and just busted down the doors until he found what he wanted, which, with everyone distracted, worked out just fine. You got back to the camp and, well, things weren't as he left them. You'd find Team had come back. Some of them quite injured, especially Kateri, who, well, I guess the less said the better about her face. She seemed quite hurt. Jilly, who had a superficial injury but was playing up pretty badly. But you did learn that G, in some heroic action, had saved them all from the wolf attack, the wolf cave, and he gave Ember a certain little treasure that he found, which I guess she's pretty intrigued about. What's happened? You were given some details of your deployment into the Stonelands to Fort Champion, which you don't know too much about yet, but I imagine through the course of the next few sessions you will. And finally, you were sent on a mission to the local village, Griffin Hill, which is a small hamlet that your commander Ruvret is from, to deliver a missive to the I can't remember what it's called, basically the mayor of Griffin Hill. And on the way, you found a wood elf being attacked by some vicious wolves. There were less wolves than you'd encountered before, but it seemed to go catastrophically in comparison, and the wood elf died. You found a few potions on his body, which I think you identified 2 of them, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think one was unidentifiable. And so there are about 5 more miles until the hamlet of Griffin Hall. And I'll show you the terrain that you're walking through, which you probably recognize. So as you get closer to the hamlet of Griffin Hill...
It's awfully dark.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's because all the things reset.
Right.
So as you get closer to the hamlet of Griffin Hill, you see what you're very used to by now. Droves and droves of sheep over the shallow plains. And as you draw closer and closer, you start to see the wooden palisades of a small village on top of a hill. The density of the sheep is getting thicker and thicker, and you see some figures milling by trees. There's not many of them, and by their crooks you would recognize them as shepherds.
Mm-hmm. They have dogs.
Do a perception check.
Okay.
See if you can see any darting about. Not that you can see, Ember. They look quite tranquil at the moment. Most of them seem to be not active. It's sort of the middle of the day. It's probably reached about midday, and the sun's beaming down. There's been a sort of light drizzle, but overall, since your trouble with the elf, it's been much calmer. What you would see, sticking up from the town, there seems to be only one very large building and it seems to have a spire, but there's no symbology that you can make out from this distance.
Interesting.
Okay.
So I assume you'd keep going until you reach the town?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll move you over to this little map here. So, if you would like to put your tokens down. Yeah. Here.
The sheep. So evil. Sheep.
We'll just assume that you're there. And yeah, on the sort of two crests next to the gate, you'd be able to see the this sort of shallow hill leads in. The sheep seem to be able to wander in and out of the town as they please. From what you can see from just directly outside the town, everything here appears to be wooden. It's definitely a very frontier settlement. Looks like it was set up from looking at the wall not that long ago, or at least it wasn't improved that long ago.
What sort of time is it?
Midday.
Midday. Okay.
So the the spire that you'd see sticking out would be like from over here.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be able to see the mill just yet.
So we all come walk, like limping in. Hello, everyone. Is there people at the gate?
No, the gate is wide open. It doesn't seem to. But actually, there wouldn't be a gate. It would just sort of be this gateway without doors at all.
Okay. Yeah, so Emma's just following everyone.
Perhaps we best set up at the inn for a while. I think everyone's nursing wounds after that whole deal with the wolves.
I think that's a good idea. She looks to everyone else.
Perhaps after an hour or so, and once we've got a hot meal in our bellies, then we can deliver this missive to the mayor.
Acte nods.
Yeah, Ember looks kind of eager to do that. Kind of swishing her tail a bit. Whereabouts is it?
I'm sure the local townsfolk will point us towards it.
Yeah, she nods.
So, are you passing into the town through the wooden gateway?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I want to look for an inn. I'll probably ask nearby townsfolk to see if they can point us in the right direction.
do a perception check, Darian. You do see people around. They all look peasanty, but see if you can pick anyone out of the crowd.
Right,
So
12.
That near this building here,
Mm-hmm.
you see someone who's wearing very distinctive robes, which are sort of they have a pattern on of white doves.
Oh no, it's a character from Frostbite. Interesting. Okay, in that case then I think Darian would stride up to her and just say, Hail!
Hey. She looks around. Is everyone else following up as well?
Yeah, it's Actes.
I believe you're the people I meant to meet outside of the Griffin Hill Fort.
Perhaps.
You look like soldiers.
Are you the mayor of this fine little hamlet?
No, I was sent to collect something from you near Griffin Hill Fort, but you never turned up, so I came back to my base of operations. But, and she looks at your garb, I assume you're the people I'm looking for. You stand out rather sorely here.
Ah, I see. I think there must have been a miscommunication on our arrival. Please, Corporal, may I have the scroll case?
And he said, "Be right back, got a pee." So
Well,
I assumed Joan would hand you the scroll case.
Would you hand it over to this woman and just say, apologies for not showing up on time, but I'm glad we could find you in the end.
Well, I guess there was nowhere else I could have found you, so here seemed the best shot. I didn't hear anything about the tavern. No one was killed. So GoldenEye Babin has a bonus reward that he would like you to receive. And she pulls out 2 items and gives them to you, Darian.
Nice, what are they?
I assume you would ask, right?
Yeah, well, what do they look like first? I'm just curious.
Hang on. So one of them looks like oh crap, where is it? Oh, yeah, right. So one of them just looks like a bag,
Okay.
and the other one, everyone can do an Arcana check.
Hello, sorry, I had to get my dinner.
It's all right.
What?
Arcana.
Ooh.
Okay, so Hacte, you would recognize the bag as a bag of holding.
Oh yeah, big brain red wolf.
Oh no, fuck. Sorry. You'd recognize them as a pair of sending stones.
Ooh.
And the bag is a bag of holding.
Okay.
What are
These,
these fine gifts that GoldenEye Babin has supplied us with?
they are goods which can be spared because they are defective, but they could still serve you.
Effective.
Yes. She sort of looks down. The sending stones only work one way,
Oh.
and the bag of holding, if you put an item in, it will come out wet. So you have to pick what you can put in it.
That's a great idea.
Why would somebody need that?
That's so great.
Unless they're fishing.
A lot of young wizards attempt to make items, and while they do not succeed, sometimes the items can still be used. GoldenEye Babin saw this as a suitable reward.
It's very
whatever he
kind.
did.
I assume that this comes in addition to the gold we were promised.
The gold you were promised will be provided by me once the document is certified by Babin.
Very well. That seems
We
reasonable
will-
to me.
We will keep tabs on where you are. And
I-
of course, our services will be open to you.
Yes, I was going to mention that I hope our arrangement of companionship and future working relationship will be held up to his end of the bargain.
She nods. She's like, I do know that your camp is moving. Yes, I do not know to where. We could send a courier to wherever you need to be. The Swift Dove Kit Trading Company operates anywhere in this region.
I think if that is the case, then I think by the 8th of Kythorn, then we will be going to Fort Champion.
She nods. I will let Babin know.
Very good.
Mm.
Which one of these sending stones only works one way then?
She looks at herself. You'll have to test them out.
Very well. Any takers? Perhaps you,
No.
Corporal.
Yeah, yes, very well. I'm willing to try.
Very well. If no one else wants it, then I'll take the other. What about
What
this
am I trying?
bag of holding? Would anyone like that?
Might be lighter.
The bag, what makes things wet?
Well, if Mademoiselle Wins had it, she could always use her fire to dry it off.
An excellent
Well, that's
point,
true.
Viscount. And perhaps you should take it then, Miss Wins, and me and the Corporal can hold on to one half of these sending stones each.
Yeah, she takes it. I could do that as long as, it's not gonna burn up in the fire. A lot of things do.
You will
Hello.
just have to be careful, Ember.
I guess so.
Viscount's like, you could use it as a portable washing device as well.
What a good
What was your name, madame?
I am Mademoiselle Duret.
Mademoiselle Duret. Very well. Are you from Griffin Hill, or are you just stopping in?
No, I am from Arabelle, where I will be returning with the document.
Very well. Where can we expect to find you at Fort Champion, or?
If it is not me, it will be one of my accomplices.
Very well. Are you familiar with Griffin Hill at all? We are looking to rest up after our travel here.
I do stay here at the guest house sometimes, and she points to this building here.
Very good. And is there any way of supplies or anything like that in this small hamlet? Or is it mostly just farmers and the like?
There is a Griffin Mill. She points over here. Griffin Mill is obviously the mill, and with the sheep, they produce a lot of food, and he sells the excess. And while I was staying at the guest house, there is the bunkhouse, and she points to it next to the guest house. There was a trader staying there, but I did not deal with him. I do not deal with those types.
Very well, and being a member of the Swift Dove Trading Company yourself, I don't suppose you're carrying anything on you.
I am not. I was specially assigned to collect this document from you, which is rare.
Very well. I have not opened it. I respect the Swift Dove Trading Company enough to not go against your level of trust, but I am curious if you're willing to share what it might be.
Do a persuasion check.
So it would be 13, because 7 or lower I get folk tongue, so it puts up to an 8.
Okay. I do not know exactly myself, but I believe it is very important information. As we have direct competition with the Seven Sons, even though they may be inferior, it is very good to know what routes they are planning to occupy in the future, so we can protect ourselves in case they get violent.
Very well, that sounds like a smart idea to me.
The Comte de Prespeur is a very intelligent man. He can outdo Lord Blef anytime he wishes. This is just a protection.
Very well, outdoing Lord Bleth is something that I certainly can get behind.
Yes, well,
The man is a pompous fool.
I have never met him myself, but the Comte de Prespeur has a certain hatred for the man. I do not know why. He has explicitly stated it.
Very well, I would be interested in meeting this Comte.
It is difficult. He is mysterious. He resides in Sembia on the island of Prespeur. He is the sort of man that you only meet if he becomes interested in you yourself. I was only there watching on.
Very well, maybe with our fruitful relationship, then perhaps within time. But for now, I think me and my friends will have to rest at this bunkhouse. So I wish you a good day.
Of course, I must make it back before light falls. And she starts off.
What was the Comte's name again, Kieran? Just write it down.
The Comte de Prespeur.
Probably spelling that very badly, but whatever. And yeah, if unless anyone else has got anything in mind, then Darian would head off to the bunkhouse.
No, Ember's coming.
Yeah, everyone following?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll move you over to the guest house. So, as you see it, it's a pretty squat wooden building. There's nothing fancy about it. Doesn't have a sign outside. There's no real indication that this is like an inn or a tavern. This place, as you're outside, almost seems a bit too small for those kind of things. But I'll move you over.
Did you make that map, by the way, Kieran?
Oh yeah.
Looks really fucking good.
Incarnate is very good.
I've heard good things, but I've seen way worse people using the map, making maps with it, so good job.
So, anywhere down here. So as you're approaching this building, you can see that it's got very rural decoration. It's got very colourful flowers outside. It seems to have an area for people who just want to sit and relax. It does look quite rickety from the outside, though, and you can even see a small sort of plot around the side of the building, which seems to be purpose for growing vegetables. And, well, within CORMYRian society, any tract of land is worth something with how infrequently it's given out.
Looks quite rickety, but I suppose anywhere will do right now.
Think so. I mean, it can't be ricketier than one of the tree houses we have back in my clan. It was nearly falling off, that one.
Tree
It
houses.
reminds me of home.
Yeah.
Can't say I've ever seen a house built into a tree, but
Not yet experienced a roost, Monsieur Hong Crown. It is beautiful.
I can certainly see the tactical appeal.
Maybe I'll show you my room one day, Darian.
Is that an invitation?
Well, maybe.
Darian kind of like
What?
eyes her and then can Darian do an insight check to see if she understands what she's
Of course. Yeah, Ember do deception.
fuck.
Oh, and this is where the campaign gets freaky.
So you're unsure, Darian. You don't know the Tabaxi ways, and you know Ember's a fiery girl, so you know it could mean anything.
Darian just kind of smiles and just says, I'll keep that in mind.
God, you guys, dirty minds all over you.
Telling a guy to come back to your room is pretty, not dirty, just pretty blatant.
Could Say so. 17.
I mean, Darren,
So-
yeah, whatever. Yeah,
You're
Darren
pretty-
will march up to the door and open it up.
Okay. So, as you open the door, you see it's a rather ramshackle room, but you see quite a few patrons in there. At first glance, you see a guy very coolly standing by the bar. He seems to be talking to the half-elf woman behind the bar. If anyone, this man here, as you all come in, he just eyes every single one of you with a sort of like not happy to see you glance. But if anyone would like to do an insight check for these two people, you can if you want.
14.
See. Yeah.
Bei und 20.
I think so. Yeah, you would recognize these two people as looking a lot like Ruvra.
Interesting.
They've got similar. This woman has a similar build to Ruvra. She's quite stocky, and she definitely has similar features in her face. This he looks a bit different. He's lankier and he's got longer hair, but there's definitely something in his eyes that look a lot like Ruvra.
Does Darian recognise that?
Yes.
Okay. I won't say anything just yet. Darian's just gonna march up to the bar unless anyone else wants to do something first.
I think our tactic is quite direct.
Yeah.
He would go over to these guys and say, "So is Chevalier his rank?" No, his
No,
surname.
Chevrolet means
Chevrolet.
goat herder in French, apparently.
So Otakte would march pretty much straight up to them, halfway between the two of them, still standing. He wouldn't sit down,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of announce, Ruvrit. I've immediately forgotten the name. Chevrolet
So
sends his greetings.
So she looks pretty unperturbed by it, and she's like, But Titus is like, hello there, friend. Ruvrit, you say?
Yes.
Oh, well, how's the old boy doing? Is he doing all right?
Was just promoted.
Oh, he looks across. I'm Titus, Chevrolet, and this is my sister, Amelie. He was always the adventurous one of the Chevrolets. So he's done quite well for himself, hasn't he?
Is an honorable man. My name is Otakte Red Wolf.
Oh, attacked her. Well, are you? I mean,
I am his subordinate.
Oh, well, I think we're all Ruvert's subordinates, aren't we, Amelie? And she's like, only because they wouldn't let me join up. He's like, oh yes. Yes. So, he looks quite taken aback by you, Atakte, being a large half-orc man.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't seem like scared. He just seems more like lost for words.
Mm-hmm. Otakte kind of pauses in the slight awkwardness for a second, and then just says, "My duty is done," and turns around and walks away.
A good show, oh boy. You know, if you ever want a game of Tamura's favour, we're both here.
I love this guy. Off, and I think would pick a corner. Lean back against the wall with his arms crossed. He's also keeping an eye on the Vicomte in particular.
Vicomte, after you did your little introduction, you would sort of sit near these two and sort of strike up very, like pleasant conversation. Darren, as you approach there, you'd
Mhm.
see like this guy has almost got like a glint in his eye as he's seen you all come in.
Mm-hmm. Darren will just walk up to the barmaid and just say, "Hail, madam.
Hail, I'm not used to seeing new faces around here.
We are stopping by on behalf of the CORMYR army. We're looking to see if any keen minds wish to join up. But for in the meantime, we're just looking for a room and perhaps some food and drink."
Well, if you're looking for people to join up, and she like leans over, she points at this guy, and she's like, Chad Mullins, he's always talking about adventure, but
Chad
Oh,
Mullins.
yes. What? She sort of looks around at everyone. You're all a rather disparate group. So to see you here, but we can provide you with food or whatever you want. There's the bunkhouse next door, which there's always room at.
Fantastic. How much would it be for a round of drinks for each of me and my friends, and then something warm to fill our bellies, and then perhaps just the one room for now for myself?
As you say about drinks, Darian, this guy like slinks around a bar. He's like, "What's up, bro? I can get him a creme de lait. Oh no, not a creme de lait, but I'll get him the lait de best ferment for how many friends you got, bro?" And he looks at Darian.
There is, including myself, 5 of us.
Right, well, silver piece, 5 drinks of them, look, Winnie. And she's like, "Are you okay with that, monsieur?"
I suppose.
Right, and the room per night is 2 silver pieces for a single, and 4 for a double.
Very good, Arnold. All I'll need is a single, so... How much is that in total? 3 silver. Or is the guy paying for it?
The guy is paying for a round of drinks for all of you, so Darian only needs to pay 2 silver pieces.
Okay. And how much for the food, my dear?
Well, we have, I'll show you. There's the half hap, which is a cheese, and the leg of lamb, the gigot d'agneau, is 5 copper pieces. There's as you can tell, there's a lot of sheep in this village.
Yes, I gathered much from your menu. I think everyone will probably take the leg of lamb, so I'll 2 silver, an extra 5 copper, yes.
She nods, and Chad Mullins is like, "Yeah, man, the leg of lamb goes well with the let de best ferment. It's best sheep's milk in the whole of North CORMYR."
Thanks for the information.
No problem, bro. It's just pretty interested because you guys look like a bunch of soldiers, and you know that always gets me interested.
Why is that?
Well, you know, I'm always a bit of a man of adventure, as you say. I mean, the coolest guy in Griffin Hill, he's not going to stay home. He wants to get out there, but I haven't ever really had the opportunity to leave, you know.
Well, perhaps you should consider joining up with the army.
Oh man, I would, but you know, and it's difficult when you got no one to like chill with, man. I mean, my best friend, he was always up for it, but he's dead now, so, and he's like kind of shrugs.
Well, that's a shame. Perhaps you'll meet some friends if you join up with the army. I've heard many stories of some finding some lifelong friends.
Well, the thing is,
amongst the ranks.
there's a bunch of these, you know, iron throwing mercenaries who came here like a few weeks ago, and I got pretty chatty with them, and they're like, "Man, you should join the iron throwing," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll be up for it," but they went off to face off Free Tusk in the north. You heard of Free Tusk, man?
Has Darren heard of it?
Do a history check. It'd be very difficult, but you could have heard of it.
23.
You get this slight. You've heard of like folk tales throughout CORMYR, Darian. You don't know how true it is, but apparently there is a massive boar somewhere in the north of CORMYR in this sort of region.
Baby.
The massive boar. I've read folk tales, but I always assumed they were just stories you tell at children at night to scare them.
Well, yeah, man, but the thing is, Free Tusk, you don't take kindly to people fighting him, and well, these Iron Throne mercenaries, they said about going to face him, and that was like 10 days ago, and they didn't come back, so kind of does that, and like, guess they're dead. So trying to find a way out of his town, and I mean, when a bunch of heavy hitters like you guys roll up, I mean, what are you going to say?
Has anyone gone looking for these mercenaries? Any kind of reward or?
Well, yeah, the old town master is a reward, but it's more of a token thing. Like, not many people actually, not many people take that on, especially around here. I mean, what could old Chad Mullins do? I mean, I do have, and he pulls out a dagger. He's like, I do have this, and he like licks it along the blade.
Has Darren heard of the Iron Throne Mercenary Company before?
Roll a history check. So, you know that the Iron Throne isn't a mercenary company. They are a group of traders who have complete control of all the arms trade within CORMYR.
Interesting.
So they supply the army. You'd also know that role that the Zentrum used to control a lot of the arm trade, but since they sort of got weakened, the Iron Throne have like properly pushed in. You'd also know that if you're a blacksmith or an armorer or a weaponsmith within CORMYR, you have to be under the Iron Throne's charter to produce weapons. And well, so if you're a normal blacksmith, you need to have their permission to make weapons, unless you're in the Royal Charter where you can make weapons. I'll show you this.
Interesting.
So they're almost like, I guess I'll describe it as a gang, but they're a legitimate
business.
Yeah.
As they say in
and the army
Peaky Blinders.
buys weapons off them.
Yeah. Okay. In that case then, Darren would say, and you say this townsmaster of yours is offering up a reward for either Three Tusk or the Iron Throne mercenaries that went missing?
Yeah, well, not the mercenaries. I don't think he gives, two bobbins about them, but, I mean, Winnie might know more. He's his daughter, after all. And he, like, gives her a smug smile, and she kind of like, ugh.
Do you, sorry to bother you while you're preparing drinks, but I am quite curious. You are the townsmaster's daughter, is that correct?
I am, yes. I am a bastard, though. My mother was a war wizard. I think they had a relationship, and I think she died in one of the orc invasions over 30 years ago.
Well, every one of us is a bastard until one of us proves ourselves, in my opinion.
I mean,
title alone is not. My father always told me that you have to earn your way in the world, regardless of status.
Chad Mullins is like, yeah, we'll tell that to the nobles who sock it to us daily, yeah? And he like gives you like, look.
Indeed. Some of the noble families in CORMYR could certainly do with a mix-up. So I'm not in disagreement with you, Mr. Mullins.
I would agree with you about Arabelle, man, but Christ, what's her name? Where is she? I would agree with you, man, but I've seen a tapestry of Romalie Roanmantle, head of this place, but she's fine. maybe she don't need mixing up, but I'd mix her up, if you know what I mean.
Quite. Miss Winnie, is there truth in this? That the Iron, okay, now I'm gonna call him
Iron Throne.
Iron Throne, mercenaries were passing through and there is a bounty on this Three Tusk.
Yes, there is. Many people have gone after Free Tusk, but none of them have succeeded. There were 3 of them. They stayed in the bunkhouse.
Very well. Thank you for your time, both of you. I'll be joining my compatriots now for a dinner, but have a good day.
Chad Mullins is like, enjoy our drinks, man. You know,
Thank
if you want me in the army, just come back.
I'll certainly give it some thought.
And he sits down next where all these cups are, and you can see he's pretty drunk. There's just glasses sitting there, and as he sees you sit down with everyone, he like raises his glass, and he's like, "Yeah, CORMYR, man."
Hey, Mr. Mullins has kindly supplied our drinks for this evening, or this afternoon rather.
Yeah, Ember just takes one.
Yeah, there
So-
it is on the table.
At the table. Otakte's been looking at this guy.
So this guy, let's do an insight check.
Pretty surly.
He looks pretty sunny. Yeah. Hang on, gotta find it.
Whale.
Please. Equal. So there's been a few times you've been looking at him, Atakte. He clearly doesn't seem to be friendly, but he seems to be watching over everyone in the bar. You can't really work out what he wants. He definitely seems very perceptive.
He's just watching people.
Yeah. He's got a drink, and he's just kind of looking at everyone.
Is he armed?
Not that you can see straight away.
Okay. That's fine.
So this girl would bring your drinks over. She's like, "Here you go." She drops him down. She like brushes past Darian, like trying to sort of,
Yeah.
get a bit of physical contact as she leans through. She's like, "Oh, I hope you like that."
Thank you, dear.
And no problem. She walks away.
Mr. Redwolf, may I have a moment of your time?
Pushes off the wall. Heads over to the table.
You have expressed a talent for hunting, have you not?
It is important in my tribe.
Apparently the townsmaster has a bounty out on a certain giant boar named Three Tusk. I thought it was a thing of legend, but perhaps if there is a bounty out on it, then perhaps there is some truth in the matter.
Giant boar.
Quite.
Kind of nods to himself. I appreciate this.
You're most welcome, and I also thought, Corporal, that, and I thought you, the Vicomte, might be interested, that a number of mercenaries working for the Iron Throne went after them and have since gone missing. Perhaps if we were to recover their bodies or belongings, or even perhaps just find out what has happened to them, then perhaps that might prove, they might prove to be a potential ally for the army.
Hmm.
The Viscount would say, "If we're we're doing independent work, Darion, we would need to seek a contract from the Town Master. It's expensive, but maybe worth it.
Of course. I would be willing if we think it's worth it. I thought I would make the option available to everyone. But of course, I defer to yourself, Vicomte, and of course the Corporal.
I have mixed feelings about the idea. As the Vicomte says, perhaps we would do best to seek a contract first.
Well, of course, I do not think we will not seek a contract. We will, I mean, more so. I mean, once we've secured the contract, then we could perhaps do this to see if any allies could be gained, and perhaps also to end such a threat within CORMYR if it's causing that much damage to the surrounding wilderness and potentially putting people's lives in danger. Then I think that would be a noble goal.
Perhaps.
Mhm.
I do agree.
More places to explore, the better for me.
Very well.
Tecte would speak up a little bit, and he is still standing at this point, and he kind of looks at Darian as he says this, but he's addressing the Vicomte, and he says, I want to be clear, Vicomte, you are of the highest rank here. Where do we stand with our duty to the army and our dealings? And as he says dealings, he sort of looks at Darian, with other peoples.
Well, doing good for CORMYR is worth it. As long as it does not go against the principles of a nation so strong and admirable, I would not have a problem. But our first duty here is to see the mayor and see what he says, yes?
Okay. And he nods at the Vicomte, and he sort of holds eye contact with Darian and nods at him as well.
And there's like a slight nod back.
So the drink that you see set down before each of you is a frothy sheep's milk. It looks like someone's curdled to the top.
Can nobody ever say frothy sheep's milk ever again? I feel it's thick.
Did the hit die round up or down when you long rest?
I don't know.
I think it's down.
Yeah, only got one.
Yeah,
Okay.
most
Oh,
things.
it's
Yeah,
like he
dear.
became a Tacte then.
Spend my hit die.
What?
Nice.
What? How did I become a tactic?
It was the way he went. Oh.
So, as you're sort of having a little drink, you'd see the waitress come back over with a leg of lamb. She's like, "Did you hear about the princess, everyone? It's pretty good."
My God, it's fucking brain damaged Bonnie. I
Yeah.
can't handle it. Jesus.
Good afternoon, Mademoiselle Bonnie. What happened to the princess?
She's not actually cool.
I know she isn't. It's canon.
I love your hair. It's nice. Did you get it done in Arabelle?
No, a friend and colleague of ours did it for me. Thank you.
Oh, and I like your face. And she looks at you, Ember.
Yeah, she just
Excuse
kind of
me,
tricked me as
mademoiselle. Sorry.
Okay.
What happened to the princess?
Oh, the princess? You mean, what about her?
What? You literally just came over and said, "Did you hear about what happened with the princess?"
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's, you know, she was getting, a bit old.
Which princess is this?
Phaedra.
Yes, I am familiar.
Yeah, she was getting a bit old. Well,
Sorry, I can't take you James voice seriously. Sorry. Whew.
but
Right, yes.
and in my family we don't get married old, but she was seeing that Sword Coast lad or something.
I did not, but please do carry on.
Well, they're gonna get married. It's a
Oh.
bit. Yeah.
Joan doesn't know that Rodri is Raedra, does she?
No.
Does she? Would she suspect? Do you think, or not at all?
I think the only real person he's suspecting at the moment is Darian, but even he's
Okay.
not sure.
Yeah.
He's quite sure by now because of that thing that happened the night before.
Okay. Well, congratulations to her, I say. A royal wedding will do good to boost the morale of CORMYR.
She's down in Sazale doing all the decorations.
Huh?
It'd be so nice to marry a noble. And she presses herself slightly against Darian.
Ugh,
It was definitely leaning away.
comport yourself.
I thought his name was something like Ranaria Neverbimber or something like that. He was very foreign and weird.
Right. Okay.
But, it's a day for celebration, isn't it? And she looks around the table.
So they are marrying today?
They are marrying when her father gets back, but they heard about it this morning. It's lovely.
But would Joan or anybody else know that she isn't even actually at the castle? Would anybody know that the princess was missing?
No one's heard anything of that type.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough.
She comes around to you, Joan. Are you gonna get married anytime soon? You're a very pretty lady.
Thank you. Currently I am not looking to get married, but I think it is in my father's plan for my life.
Yeah, my dad said I should get married, but well, after my brother died, I don't know how I feel. But it's a day for celebration. Everybody enjoy yourselves. I'll be around if you need me. She sort of ambles back to the bar.
Good luck.
I'd like to believe that voice is a constant thing in Kieran's mind all
Yeah.
the time.
That is the voice of Kieran's thoughts.
God. The Viscount's just like, we will have an heir after all.
Fantastic news.
Have you ever heard of him?
What was that?
Have you ever heard of him?
Heard of who, Viscount?
Well, Renan Neverimber.
I've heard a little, but nothing concrete.
I hear he is a very fine man.
Well, I'm sure to be married to our princess, Raedra, then he would certainly have to be.
I'm sure he is not a weakling to marry a girl like that. Very forceful.
Quite.
Would Joan know anything about this guy or not? Not really.
Roll a history check. You would have come near that area
Oh yeah, possibly.
as you came through on your little boat. Oh, so Joan, you would know that Raynar is the son of Daggle Neverember, who is the current Lord of Waterdeep. He used to be the head of
Millstone.
Yeah, Davey would definitely know who he is in this timeline.
Dorothy!
Yes, well, Princess Regia is a very lucky woman to be marrying him.
Quite.
I've decided Joan has a crush on him. He is most handsome.
Yeah, even though he's ginger.
I like a ginger. Leave
I
me
know,
alone.
I like gingers as well. So,
The absolute intolerance in this D&D.
Explains a lot, doesn't it, Tom?
so
Yes?
I'm joking.
Viscount holds up his little frothy drink and he's like, Toredra and Helena.
Toredra and
Helena.
my beloved husband to be.
May the spirits bless them.
Well, perhaps we should, once we've eaten up and had a little rest, when we should get this missive over to the mayor as soon as possible.
Oui. Why does my life not consist of marrying princes but instead of this? Why has a monitor chosen me for delivering messages?
I think your monitor clearly sees you have some kind of grander purpose.
I know, but it is hard sometimes to not do what I feel like I want to do and to do what a monitor wants of me.
Maybe a monitor needs to get some messenger pigeons.
Thank you. What a good idea.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you prove yourself and your devout worship of a monitor, then maybe in some point in your life he will reward you with such love.
Maybe he will throw an arena my way.
Perhaps.
There's always Flume Blackmore. No. Just gonna go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pardon me.
Oh, so how does me liking gingers explain things? Because I'm confused too.
I was just making a joke that you and
Oh,
Kieran
I
both said
see.
you like gingers. I was like, that explains a lot. I wasn't actually intending anything behind it.
Oh, I see. Because I didn't understand what you said, and so I texted Tom, and he was like, I didn't really get it. And I was like, me either.
Well, it wasn't that funny, apparently.
Oh, I'm gonna get the boar! Tacte's excited.
Yeah, kill that boar. Make it squeal like a pig, boy.
Why can't I have a Raina? Sorry, Tom.
Raynar's a fucking crack addict
Yeah.
and loser that squanders all his money
Oh.
and time on drugs and shitting about with Volo.
Did not know that. I should pay more attention.
Do you not remember? Every time we went into any kind of establishment in Waterdeep, Raynar and Volo were just there like, "Boo." Buzzed out of their
that was
mind.
them.
He's a fucking loser. That's why I don't want Raedra to marry him, because she seems cool.
Oh, is it maybe because you like Raedra? Tom's
Yes.
got a crush on Raedra.
Yeah, it's all a bit weird, isn't it?
Mm.
It's a bit weird. No, Alright, is everyone ready to continue?
Mm-hmm.
I just got a message from Tom that just says Jeebus. I
Yeah.
was joking! Jesus Christ.
Alright. Is everyone, I assume, finishing up their meal, taking a little short rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ember does not drink the milk, though. Yucky.
She's a cat, though.
Yeah. She don't want to get diarrhea.
Yeah, it does look quite frothy. It does look quite chunky.
Yeah. And also Hannah hates milk as well.
The best reason.
Yeah, once we had a short rest, and Darren would be pushing to go and visit the townsmaster and deliver this missive.
Okay. So, I would move you back to a town map. Are you all heading straight over to the sort of town hall?
Yeah,
Jeremy
Chakta
would
is
be,
keen
yeah.
to get there.
Okay. So you'd see that the hall is this little. Hang on, I marked it. This little building here, which is it's sort of its circular design is a bit more fancy than most of the buildings. It looks like it's got a solid stone groundwork. Like this is the part of the village they concentrated on, maybe except the temple that you can see sticking above. As you approach the hall, you don't see any sign of guards or anything like that. This place is rather small.
Yeah, Darren just went straight on in if everyone else was following.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take you over there. So what you see is a very let me just change the lighting. It's a very it's quite a nice looking office which has an adjoining what you assume to be something like a bedroom. And you see in comparison to all the other characters that you've seen in Hamlet Hall, he seems to be finely robed. He's writing with an ink pen on what it looks like to be some sort of document. There's documents stacked up by the side. He's got a very regal visage, one that you haven't seen much of up here. He's quite busy at work at the moment. If the door would open, he wouldn't hear you come in.
Yeah, Darren would knock and then just say, "Hail, are you the townsmaster?"
I am indeed, Absalon Mercier. So looks kind of around. Can I help you? I'm not used to strangers here.
We have been sent by the CORMYR army to deliver a missive.
Oh, the Grand Army. Dondarian must have sent you, and he gives a little bow.
That is correct. Darren will pull out the missive and hand it over.
Okay. Do they give you any indication of why you've been sent? And he sort of starts unpacking the scroll from its case.
I believe they are looking for new recruits.
Ah. And you can see his eyes rest on the document. So you see him starting to read through it. He's sort of mumbling things as he's going through. Oh, yes, it is from Alamba. Of course, pastoral settlement, levying of 10 able-bodied men. Levy's been reduced due to the important agricultural work. Supply of edible goods to the army. Supply of materials, 50% is pretty high. Levied men were required to report to Griffin Hill Camp on 7th of Kythorn. Okay, well, this is going to take quite a lot of arranging. His lordship knows these are considerable demands and offers the service of those who delivered this missive. Vulnerable Marine until Kythorn the 6th to ensure the requirements are filled. Favor Leroy's. Lady Romantle signed this as well. Must be quite urgent. Right. Still puts it down. Yes. Have they told you that you'll be serving me?
No, they had not, but we are ready and willing.
That's pretty classic of the Comptes. I don't know if you've met him, but he isn't the most agreeable fellow.
I have met him once. He seems like quite a proud man.
I'm not going to leave you in the dark. Obviously, the Grand Army being rallied to the Stonelands is quite urgent, and well, they have certain expectations of all their settlements. Obviously, we supply wool and food and things like that, as well as men. So what this document says is, well, if I have need of you, there are a few things that have happened in Griffin Hill which will affect the agricultural work, as well as, well, it'll be easier to supply you with men once these tasks are done. I assume this is agreeable to soldiers such as you.
Of course, yes. I see no problem with it. What do you think, Corporal Viscount?
It is fine, Darion. I'll do anything to serve the proud nation of CORMYR.
My apologies, the corporal has hiccups. Yes, I have no problem with this.
We are
Yes.
ready and willing to serve.
It is
What was the guy's name again, Kieran?
Ugh!
Mayor Absalon Mercier.
I'm gonna massively butcher you.
Hang on, I might be able to share him. I'll just check if I've got any sensitive information on his little character sheet. Yeah, there you go. He's here.
Thank you.
Alright. There, seeing as I have you for the next 4 days, and, well, I would not want to ask any shepherds or any men who would not be keen to go off into the army. So my first question would be, if you find any volunteers who are willing to fulfill this levy of 10 men, well, I'm not going to be adverse to it. I mean, that would always be helpful. There have been some more concerning events happening in the village, which I would most like being looked into. There have been a number of murders at the mill.
Murders.
Yes.
Oh no, it's the hags!
Yes. We are very short on men, and we haven't really had, and intelligence really. We haven't had the kind of people who could look into this sort of matter. But he kind of looks over you. You look like a diverse group, and seeing as I have you for the next few days, it would be most useful.
Of course, I certainly think we have the skill set to look into such a thing.
If you would talk to Matrice Torbay at the House of Shaunty, she would be able to show you the corpses, and maybe you could even visit Griffin Mill itself. It's run by a rather trying dwarf. He's very stubborn.
What is his name?
His name is Strombulin Bonesunder. He does most of the butchery in the village. He sells his excess goods to us, but he is not well-tempered.
And what was the name of this priestess?
Her name is Matrice Torbay. She is the head priest of Shaunty in the village.
Very well, I've made notes of all these things. Is there anything else we could help you with, Mayor, whilst we're in Griffin Hill?
There is old Free Tusk, but he's been a problem for a while.
We did hear from one of your patrons at the local bunkhouse that it had been a bit of an issue. You'd seen Iron Throne mercenaries coming through lately.
Oh, I see you've already been. I assume you met my daughter there.
Indeed, a lovely woman.
Thank you. She takes after her mother, but yes. Well, it is a. He thinks there is a small grove. Maybe. He has a look. Has a think. Maybe 10 miles from here, where he attacks a lot of people along the roads. You may look into it. There is a token sum for his dispatch of 300 gold pieces.
And would we have to require a contract from you at all, or would this be involved with a task you'd need in the missive?
There, of course, in CORMYR there is a matter of adventuring licenses. I could provide you with one. If you complete this task for me, I could do it for free if you are willing to omit a reward, but it would be valid all over CORMYR.
I think that is more than reasonable, personally.
Yeah,
Looks at the rest of the group.
Comes like, that is most agreeable. If we do gooding across the nation, then yes.
I would claim a trophy from the body.
Absalom looks up at you, Attackte, and he's like, well, Fritas seems to have an inbuilt trophy, as it were. He was born with a deformity where a giant horn formed under his mouth. I can imagine him be quite reprised.
That will do, chieftain.
So there are other issues in the town. The wolves have been far more aggressive lately. I do not know why, but if you wish to find out more, you can always talk to Matrice Torbay. She thinks it's an imbalance.
Very well. If there is nothing else, Townmaster, I think we'd all like to get to work.
Looks. If you need any healing, anything like that, there is a herbalist who lives on the outside of town, as well as the trader staying at the bunkhouse. I can't think of much else that would be of use to you, but there is one thing I would request that you would all do while you're in Griffin Hill.
Please, go on.
Well, as you probably know, peace bonding your weapons within the town is, well, it's seen all over CORMYR, and I would ask that you, and he sort of pings out these pieces of string. They're just like normal pieces of string. I would ask you tie your weapons in your scabbards while you're in the town. It might help people just feel more comfortable with heavily armed people around.
That is not a problem in my eyes.
I will not have anyone checking, but it is the done thing, and in places like Arabelle, they will, as you may know.
Yeah, Darian will give his weapon to be peace bounded.
Yeah. So he.
Sorry, I'm just taking a shitload of notes. Trying to be good with them this campaign.
Yeah, you gotta be. No.
So he shows you how to tie your weapons up with these pieces of strings into the scabbards, and if you draw your weapons and then peace bonded, you have to use an action to break the peace bond, basically.
Yeah.
And basically, Ember doesn't have one because she's a mage.
Awesome. So our quests are, I've written them down. Kieran, could you make a little entry that everyone's got access to, like a journal, so I can put like a quest log, and then everyone can access it, so it's a bit easier.
Yeah, sure.
Where do you want me to put it?
Just in the PCs folder, probably under Team Trois.
Put quests under Team Trois.
Thank you. I'll edit that. And there we go. And cross out any of the ones that we've got. There's another one in there. cross out that one as well. There we go. Cool.
Cool.
So our quests are to get the bounty for Free Tusk, get 10 volunteers for the CORMYR army, investigate a number of murders at the mill, in which we can talk to Strongbulin, Bonesunder, or Matrius Torbay, and help deal with the Woof problem, which is also speak to Matrius Torbay.
Exactamundo.
So considering... I'm just going to talk out of character here for a bit, just because...
That's fine.
Just because it's kind of admin work. I was thinking, guys, that it might be good to... Because we're, like, all of us are a little bit beaten up or have used spell slots and stuff, so it might be good to try and visit this herbalist and the merchant for the rest of the day, and maybe try and round up some volunteers before we look into anything that's potentially more dangerous.
Surely, yes. What time is it?
I think it's about 2 o'clock according to the Kieran's little time thing at the top.
Oh, yeah. Then, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't bother Otacte. But he'd
Yes,
be
yes.
looking to see what Le Caporal, and the Viscount say.
Yeah, sorry
You trying
if I'm taking charge too much, by the way.
No, it's fine.
I think it's very in character, but it's also in character for Otacte to be like,
Yeah,
"You're the same rank as me, buddy. What's
Yeah.
going on? What's the Caporal thinking and the Viscount thinking?"
We both know the corporal's an idiot.
No, we don't. And even if the Corporal were an idiot,
What?
Otacte would still respect the rank.
She got a pretty good intelligence score, doesn't she?
I don't have any idea what I'm doing.
Um,
The power.
Hey, she got 15 intelligence!
Yes, I think we do need to go and get some spell slots back. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so maybe...
It's also genuinely one of my favourite tropes when the corporal's just like, or the person in charge is just like, what do you think? Person who clearly has their shit together and is
Yeah.
thinking things through.
I can
And then-
benefit
and then-
off this.
Yeah, and then he says it, and then it's like, yes, this is my idea. We'll do that.
Yeah.
To Jones,
It's pretty much Darian's character.
Viscount would be like, I agree with John. Maybe we should take it easy, and maybe we should investigate some of the things that are going on within the town before we go trundling off.
Of course.
Yes. Wait, are we booked to have to stay in the place, aren't we?
I got a room
It's
for
not-
myself, but I think you'll all need to get rooms. Individual rooms.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good idea to sort of have a look at what's going on around the town, have a sleep. Yeah, sorry, wrong voice. I think we should have a look at what is going on around the town. Go and have a nice sleep, and then wake up refreshed in the morning.
Excellent idea, Corporal.
What do we think about seeing this healer? She could have potions that could be helpful to us.
I think that's an excellent idea, Viscount. I think certainly we should seek her out. Where could we find this herbalist on the outside of town, Mayor?
She's only a mile away to the northeast. Just follow the sheep. I know there's a lot of them, but she has a rather large contingent around her hut.
Very well. I say that's our first stop then, and then we can come back and visit the local merchant before seeing if we can round up any volunteers in the evening. Perhaps people will be more agreeable over a drink.
I would ask if you are looking for volunteers, maybe to dissuade my daughter, even though she may be a bastard. I hope she can one day take over from me from here, even if the people don't look kindly upon it. She has it together. I do not want her to go off and die.
Of course, I can respect that, Mayor Absalon.
Not to you lot will. Sorry. I don't, I have full faith in the Grand Army, but
Of course, you just do not wish to send your daughter off, who is, I imagine, a better barmaid than she is a fighter.
Yes, and her mother was never here to teach her the ways of the arcane.
Well, I think we have our answer then. I will do my best to dissuade her for you. You have my word.
Thank you.
Very well,
What of the Chevrolet woman?
Oh, Amelie, she's as capable as her brother Rouvret. I'm not so sure about Titus, though.
She said she was not allowed to join.
When Rouvret joined, their father was still alive, and he forbid it. And I think she's always felt a bit envious. But of course, she may want to go now, and she would be a very capable fighter.
Tacte nods.
Very well. If unless anyone else can think of anything, then I think we are done here, right, Corporal?
I think this is enough to be getting on with for one day. Or one afternoon, anyway.
I agree. Mayor,
So
it has
what-
been a pleasure meeting you.
It has been a pleasure meeting all of you as well. He would ask your names, and I assume you'd give it to them.
Yeah, of course. He'd
Yeah,
make a point of shaking his hand as well.
Yeah, if anyone offered their hand, he would definitely shake it as well. And he's like, well, seeing the hands of CORMYR and such, I hope to be capable hands.
Did he react at all when Darian said his name or not?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
You'd probably assume because he's quite far out.
Yeah, good. That's what I wanted.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he probably wouldn't have heard of the Afars family by any chance.
Oh no, he wouldn't have. It's too far away.
Nobody's ever heard of the bloody Afars.
You gotta forge your name, Joan. Be like, the name's a first.
Joan
And
Afars.
Don't you forget it.
I was listening to Matt Colville talk about his campaign, and in his setting, one thing I thought would be quite cool to implement maybe in our campaigns was that bards are like they're kind of like the people who spread the word
Yeah.
of lore and stuff, and they spread the news like heavily, so like people really trust bards and stuff, and like if you want to be well-known adventurers, then you have to really get to know a bard. Or
on that note, I would tell you that Absalom would have told you that Titus considers himself a bard.
Interesting. That's a good thing to note down, I think, then. What was his name again? Titus
Chevrolet. Okay. So you'd probably leave the Matrides place.
Yeah, definitely.
About 2:30. So it's early afternoon, I'd suppose. And I'll put you back on the map.
I think we probably head straight out to find this herbalist before it gets any sense of darkness.
What would
Unless we wanted to stop at the merchants first, maybe.
So okay, what you've been I'll just summarize it for everyone. What we've been told is there's been the murders, and the people that looking for like information from the murders are at the house of Sean T, which is down here, which he would have told you about.
I don't want to do that today. I think we should leave that till we've got all the spell slots back. But
There's
my opinion.
the mill where the Strombulin guy and the murders happened. There's the guest house up here where you've already been. There's the bunkhouse next door where the beds all are. And then there's apparently a herbalist on the outside somewhere.
Was there a merchant you said within the bunkhouse as well?
There was a merchant within the bunkhouse, yes. He told you that, and someone at the guest house told you that.
Yeah. What do you think, guys? I was going to suggest we go straight to the herbalist, but we could go to the merchant in the bunkhouse first if we want.
Don't
we
mind.
What are we going to the herbalist for?
Potions, I
Potions.
think. Yeah.
Potion seller, sell me your strongest potion.
Can't handle my potions.
I mean, yeah, we could go there, or is it if it's on the way to another quest, then we can do it on the way. But
Okay, but I don't think we can do much else this evening personally, because I think
So the herbalist was about a mile
not
outside of
far.
town.
It's like what 20? Like 20 minutes.
okay, sure.
Okay.
Let's
So
go get some potions.
okay, so you'd be walking over towards the herbalist.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, can someone do either nature or survival or perception, just so you can see where the sort of most sheep are all congregating, so you can quite easily find it. It'll mainly just determine how long it takes you to get to the herbalist.
Someone else could do it. I'm so shit at all three.
Yeah,
Somebody
so,
did it.
Way off.
say attack to see this place has a lot of sheep, and it's mainly about identifying where the first where it sort of goes more into a line, and it probably takes you about half an hour to find the exact point. You know the direction it is in, and you'd get to the herbalist around 3 o'clock. That I will take you over. So, oh, up here, please.
I might. I'll think about it.
Oh shit! I got knocked down for some reason.
Oh, Monsieur Red Wolf, get off of me.
Yeah, scared. The mouse is being
The
fucking
hunt
weird.
is on.
It's
That is
dark.
inappropriate
by the way,
with your
Kieran, if it's,
copyright.
not
Yeah,
red.
it's because I updated
What did you
it.
say? What'd you say, Anya?
That is inappropriate with your corporal. Please at least ask first.
I think Otakte would have the same contempt for sheep that Tom does.
You have contempt
Tom
for sheep.
hates sheep.
Fucking sheep!
Why?
They are
I'm
so
so
stupid.
curious.
They're so stupid!
Honestly, every time he goes out and sees a sheep, it is honestly just.
I thought you were just gonna say every time he goes out. It's like regardless.
Just
if he
every
sees
time
a
he
sheep
goes
or
out,
not.
he's like, fucking sheep. What did you describe as sheep of the sky the other day?
Pigeons?
Quite possibly.
It reminds me of Anchorman 2. Chicken of the cave.
Oh, Jim. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love that bit. We're in a coach and no one's
Yeah.
driving it.
So funny.
Right, so as you approach, you see the amount of sheep is just increasing and increasing, and you reach this sort of half grove, and you see a squat little building which is in the distance, which seems to have plots of vegetables around it. You haven't seen any other buildings as you've come across, as you've walked along. So you feel like you're in about the right position that this herbalist hut would be. So you kind of assume that's it, just sitting in between the shrubs and the trees.
I think this might be the place, Corporal.
Yes, quite possibly. Only one way to find out.
Certainly.
Surrounded by sheep, I suppose.
Meh.
You can see the sheep are all getting on about their business. They're not that concerned of you being there.
They're not looking at us like the gnomes, are they?
No, sadly not.
God.
Thank
The
God.
sheep will start following us around like Barlin's cats.
God. Yeah, Darren will head right down to.
Yeah, so what you can see is there's this one giant tree just before, and it's like you haven't seen too many trees. It seems like she's purposefully set up shop near them for whatever reason.
Okay.
What type of tree is it?
It's a oak tree.
Oh, very nice.
The other ones aren't. They're elms.
Yeah, unless anyone.
Don't know
else-
if that makes sense, but that's what they are.
It seems about right.
Yeah.
In the book I'm reading, it's
Oh my
important
God,
for oak
what
trees to
about-
have
Uh,
large grazers nearby.
That's how you know too in deep with D&D. It's like I've been reading about British landscape. Or been on lots of
Nobody
walks.
give Tom
looking at-
any more
It's
nature
the worst
books,
thing when you're
please.
the DM because you're just like when someone's like, "How does that work?" You're like, "Sorry, I don't know the intricate workings of the medieval, sewer system."
That's the reason I picked CORMYR, because I know a bit about feudal society. So I was like, I can at least bullshit that to my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, Darian would make his way up to the door.
Okay. So as you're making your way up, you'd see that there's a cloaked figure who's working in the garden. Seems to be just planting vegetables.
Good afternoon.
She stands up, and you can see this sort of willowy woman turn around. She's holding a thick oaken staff, and she lets down her hood, and you can see her dark brown hair sort of fall out. She looks very pale. She's human, and she's of quite a size for, I guess, a human woman, about 5'10", and she doesn't say anything as you shout out. She stands up and walks towards you, and she's like, "Can I help you?"
We were directed here by the Mayor Absalon Mercier. We have an understanding that you sell some potions.
Aye, that I do, and other goods.
May we?
Are you from the village?
No, we are simply passing through, and but we are staying for a few days. So
I see. I will come round, and you can see what is on offer.
thank you.
And you see the door open from the other side.
Mhm.
Jared will step in.
What brings you so far out into the hinterlands?
We are on some business for the townsmaster, and we need some goods to get us by in the day in case anything might come up. If you catch my drift.
She looks at Atakte, and she looks at Ember. It's like, I have not seen any of your kind in a long time. It is most curious that you are here.
Yeah, we don't really leave our clans very often.
Mhm.
When was the last time you saw one of my kind?
When I took residence in the Stonelands, part of the
Mhm.
Spleen Eater tribe, I believe.
Otakte's got the still amateur, but the starting to work with herbs and stuff with his reflavored mutagen stuff, and obviously Katiri's influence as well.
Yeah.
Does he get a sense looking around the room that she's got a lot of a wide variety of things? Are there exotic herbs and things here?
I wouldn't say exotic. It's mostly what you can find in the local vicinity from what you've
Okay.
already seen.
Cool.
You do see some potions. There are some sort of uncommon herbs which you find as you look around. You'd think that it would more just take time rather than distance to find these particular herbs.
Okay.
Very well, do you have a list at all of what you have on offer?
I do. And I also have a number of services, as well as services which I pay for. And she shows you.
Hmm.
Ooh, that's cool to know.
And she'd be like, I despise the wolves in this area. They have killed many of the sheep.
Hmm.
I offer 1 silver piece for each wolf pelt that you bring me.
I didn't actually question.
With the Revivify, it costs how much to actually cast it?
300.
Okay, so she's getting 75. Okay.
Yeah.
Revivify is within a minute, but isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have
Yeah.
to be pretty lucky.
Yeah. Unless you've got that other spell, right?
Oh,
Work like that.
gentle repose.
Yeah.
It does
Yeah.
work like that, yeah.
Nice.
That's cool. I didn't
Or you're
know
just
that.
adrenaline junkie and you're like, I want to stab my friend to death, and then you bring him back straight away.
God. For that much money. Yeah.
Darian would buy 2 potions of healing.
Okay, so she has 8 of them. So I'll take off the basic ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take those off. So 200 gold pieces. Oh wait.
I thought they were 50 each.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You were looking at the poison.
No, wait. No, he was looking at the right thing.
No, yeah, you were looking at the poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much
Oh,
do potion of
Tacte will
healings?
buy.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm taking those off then.
I'm just wondering how much they weigh. So I have to put it all in manually.
Have you got a sort of a
Please.
stand-in inventory sheet?
It's very little.
Do, but I haven't really been using it.
Potion. Its weight is half a pound.
Awesome, thank you.
Can I Tacte buy 2 pounds of common herbs and 1 pound of normal herbs, coming to 6 gold pieces total.
Yep. How many common herbs? £6.
2 pounds.
And then uncommon was
1 pound.
The poison interests Lewis, but I've got nowhere near enough money for that.
Yeah. Should we buy up all the potions of healing?
okay. The remaining 2.
Yeah, should we though? My question.
I can't
Yes.
afford anymore, but yeah, if you've got the money, then go for it. I think while we're here, we might as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So Emma will buy the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
100 gold.
I hope that you're using all that to hunt for wolves. They have really been more aggressive recently.
Have they
Something along
been
those lines.
operating nearby you at all?
They have been everywhere around Griffin Hill.
Is there some kind of den? Or...
There are many, from what I know, but I think the closest one. Hang on, where is that?
Oh yeah.
Is somewhere 20 miles to the north of here.
What did you say, Joan?
Huh? I didn't say anything.
Oh, you said something.
No, I threw a bottle at the bin.
I thought I heard you and Lewis say something at the same time. That was
She
all.
threw the bottle and it went, Davey!
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think Darian's got anything else to do here particularly.
No.
If you are done, I would ask that you would leave.
Very well. Good day to you, madam. May I ask your name or
My name is Noel.
Noel? A lovely name. Very well. Good day, Noel. Darren will
Day.
Yeah, and believes.
and head back towards Griffin Hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Boo-boo-doo-boo-doo.
Tacte is going to double up his order. So another 2 pounds of common and 1 pound of uncommon.
Okay, let me just take that off.
Would you like to triple up your order for an extra £1.99?
Fucking yeah, give me that deal. No.
I'm saving money.
Sure, I'm saving money and make money.
So,
See,
you
in
will-
my book, how to make money in your spare
That's just
time.
exactly what I was about to say.
Anya's never
Ouch.
experienced Batista.
I was telling Hannah about that last night in bed, and she was like, "You have strange friends."
Yeah. Yep.
Last night,
She is not wrong.
me and Liz hate self-help books the same amount.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you'd spend about another 40 minutes getting back to the hamlet of Griffin Hill.
I believe we should perhaps visit this merchant before maybe we go around and see if any volunteers are willing to sign up, Miss Afars Corporal.
Yes, I agree. But we do not pressure them. A monitor does not like unwillingness.
Of course. Whatever way you think is the best to handle it, Corporal, I shall aim to follow your lead on this one.
Very well, Monsieur Hunkran.
Okay.
Off we go.
So you're heading to the bunkhouse?
Yeah, I want to head to the merchant first and see if he's got anything of use.
Alright, let me have a look. Let me see where I put these. Where is it? Where is So here, please. So you see, next to the guest house, you see a large bunkhouse, which seems to be in a familiar condition. You see a little outhouse next to it, which is, nice to know, I suppose.
Got myself in the outhouse. Ah!
Ostrad is the only character who's used an outhouse in D&D. Right at the beginning.
I was thinking that the other day. I was like, there's never any toilets anywhere. And then I was like, oh, it's the perfect use for a spare bag of holding. It's just
Yeah.
a toilet that you can take around with you.
Ours has already got water you can flush it out with as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it only says it comes out wet. It doesn't say how wet, so you could just come up with quite a soggy poo out of your bag.
Gross.
Where do you want us, sorry?
Yeah.
Merci.
Viscount looks at Darion. He's like, I believe you are the only one with the key, Monsieur Hunkrow.
Yes, of course. He'll go up to the door, and if it's not open, he'll try the key.
Yeah, so it's locked, but when you get the key out, you twist it in the lock, and it opens.
Yeah, he's gonna look around and see if there's any sign of this merchant at all.
So you can see it's pretty bare as you get to there, Darion. You see a very heavily clad soldier standing by this door here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you turn around the corner, you see another one who is seated. Oddly, he's sitting down in full plate. And next to him, in the other chair, you see another man who seems to be looking a lot more gruff, a lot more sleazy than than you've seen around these parts before.
Darian would walk up and approach and just say, are you the merchant that everyone has been telling me about?
Depends who was asking, boyo.
Name's Darian Huntcrown. Me and my companions are looking to buy some goods, perhaps.
Oh yeah? What kind of goods you looking for, boyo?
Depends what you're selling.
Well, I'm selling the remains of my wares after the grand old tour of CORMYR. Bit of a shithole, innit?
I would not have you speak so poorly of my homeland in front of me.
I speak poorly of my homeland, mate. You don't got to worry about that. Ever since that frolicking happened over there.
Darian's it's not like this guy already.
Mr. Huntcrown, what does he mean by frolicking?
I believe he is referring to the grand land of CORMYR as one that he does not approve of, and that he.
Mate,
But this man seems like he has no place he calls home.
I do not trust any land since what happened to my home, Cocker.
A monitor does not like frolicking.
Well, neither do I, Missy.
Yes, because I asked for your opinion.
You strike me as a man who has little honour but much for sale.
I only trade with people who get on my good side, boy. I haven't got much left anyway.
I think we're wasting our time here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Darian's got no time for this guy.
Yes, but where to now?
Well, perhaps we look for volunteers.
You recognise his picture, Lewis?
I do not know.
You watched Matt Colville's campaign?
No, I've watched his diaries rather than the actual.
Oh, okay.
Perception check.
It's a character from the campaign.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Do a perception check to see what you notice about these guys, Darian.
Perception check.
Yeah. Everyone else can as well.
Yes, please.
Oh, might. I'll think about it.
Natural 20.
You see from these guys' armor, it's really, really shabby.
Now 50.
And this,
21.
you would notice on this guy's arm, he has a Zentarum tattoo.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Would Darian know what the Zentarum are? I assume so, right?
Yeah, 100% would, because that's what his
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I need to write that down, actually. What was the
Look, the
quest
Ember would
involved with that?
She just wants you to mess with him, basically.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, Darren ain't gonna bother with this right now.
As you leave, Darren, he's like, "Goodbye, Lordling."
what's our quest? We got a quest to fuck with these guys.
No, I do from the.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Otakte's just looking at the deer head.
Viscount
Nice trophy.
Viscount whispers to Ember. He's like,
Well, if he has stuff, maybe we should try and get out, even if Mr. Huntcrown does not approve.
I mean, we could, but I don't really like him either. He's kind of a bit of a dick, you know?
He might be a dick, but dicks do have good stuff.
Sometimes. But the ones that's come through, the ones that I've seen, usually just have trash and then they say it's good and then it's not.
It is true.
You never know.
Right. Is everyone leaving then?
Yeah, Darian's left.
Can Ember do a perception check to see if there's any of the stuff he's selling around anywhere, or if he's just if
Okay.
anyone's
Yeah.
carrying it, or
Do a perception check. So Ember, have a look. Where is he? Mm, 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 mm. So you see, you see quite a lot of tools by the side of this guy over here.
mm-hmm.
You also see as you're watching this guy in the chair, at one point he draws out a cloak that seems to like sparkle as he pulls it out, and he rubs it and he's like, "Oh, what a shame," and he puts it away.
Yeah, she would point that out to Darian and Itakte and Pulalier. He's got something shiny. Could be shiny, could be magical.
Perhaps,
Yeah.
Maybe worth asking him what it is.
With your proficiency, Ember, you would get the impression that it was magical.
Perhaps, but I have no time to deal with fools like that man. I think our efforts are best served elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue. He's probably put up the price like a bazillion gold anyway.
You're right, Ember.
Octave's
Yeah,
just kind of like, why are we standing around? He's gonna walk up
Yeah.
to him and just say,
Darian's already left.
I will trade with you.
Oh, that's what I like to hear, some sense. Well, I haven't got much left, and I've got 2 speciality items. You look like the sort of lad who might need them. If you want to know what they are, of course.
He shows you his like general list.
Did you name? Okay, this is freaking me out now. Hold on. Okay, this is generalist.
He would be, as you're looking through the tactic, he'd be like,
Name's Nails McGinty.
Is that the character's name as well? Tom?
I think it might be.
it can't be. I based this guy on a guy in Paddington.
This is what I mean. This would make it really cool and weird.
It's based on the guy who Paddington makes marmalade sandwiches for in prison.
Of course it is, because
Yeah, you're right.
what
Tom,
else
it is.
would it be?
It fucking is
But-
Nails. He's called Nails.
But he's not called Nails McGinty, right?
No.
No.
Oh, thank God. I thought there was some real weird shit going on. I
There you
think it's just for like visage. Or maybe it was in the description. And I was like, I'll put the Paddington name on the end of it.
Yeah, that would make
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway.
Look like
So
him.
Attackte would see this lot. There's some useful stuff here. He'd definitely buy some caltrops.
Mhm.
He'd buy 20, I think. So 2 gold. Buy a dagger. Grappling hook's pretty badass as well. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some shit. So shopping it. So 1 set of 20 caltrops, 2 GP. I mean, climber's kit could be useful. I'll definitely buy grappling hook. That's 3 GP. Buy a set of rope. That's another 1 GP. So 2, 6 so far. Oh, and the dagger that brings us up to 11. Yeah. That's it for now.
Yeah.
So
So
Don't suppose you want to see my speciality items?
Sir, please keep your speciality items to yourself.
And
Well.
indeed, I wish to see them.
So he brings out one of them, flashes the cloak.
This is a cloak of elven kind. You ever heard of it?
I think our tactic probably wouldn't have.
He'd explain what it does.
Okay. Dagger. Sorry, just adding stuff. Rope. Add. Drops.
He looks at you, attacked and he's like,
So much nicer dealing with non-humans. They haven't got their fucking hackles up so much.
Ember
So-
so hackles up.
Our tactic is just ignoring his words. So he's explained what the cloak does.
Yep.
Pretty swag.
It
It would be 700 gold pieces.
Jeez,
but
can't do that then.
he'd bring out another one,
Yep.
and slap it down.
He's, well, don't know what sort of honour a man like you has, but I certainly don't have much. Gloves of
It's a
thievery.
bit personal.
Our tactic would shake his head. Not for me.
Right. Fair enough.
Yep. He'd nod at him.
He'd nod back. And as you're all passing around the corner, he'd be like,
All right, off you go.
As Ember passes around the corner, she's gonna go last and just make these lights flicker really like a lot, like make the flames really big. Like,
yeah. You hear an echo around the corner. He's like,
Nice one, girlie.
In our tactic said he's just like standard shore walker.
yeah.
This is what all the traders are like who come to the island.
Oh man, I like making characters no one likes. It's fun.
I like him. He's awesome.
Ultimate sleazebag. All right. Where are you?
Is
Heading
that
off
where we're
next?
sleeping as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the camp.
Nice. Hang out with him later.
Yeah, fun. I think Darian would probably suggest to Joan and the Viscount that perhaps they should put out a call in the centre of town kind of thing. The the Elodius style, where there's any kids around, I want them.
So I'd say it's about 6 o'clock at the moment. It's early summer though, so it's like the nice late sun that you get, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole surroundings look very nice because there's a very light drizzle, so it looks very lush.
Yes, I think Darren will probably ask maybe Ember to maybe start up a bit of a fireworks show to get everyone's attention.
with my pleasure. And she's gonna use what she used before, prestidigitation. She's got a bit of minor illusion in there. Some firebolts.
Do
flames.
an Arcana check, Ember, just to see how big and awesome you can get these fireworks to be, and see if they can draw people out from their houses. So yeah, it's the slight drizzle of rain is making it a bit, subdued, but you draw a few people out of their houses. You'd definitely see. Let me get him.
Maybe a bit of performance.
Yeah. Is she saying anything? Is she sort of doing it, or like doing a little dance or something like that to make it like line up with the fire?
Well, she'd be like moving, like like Avatar style, and make the flames and stuff.
Yeah, do a performance check then as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the people who do see you who've come out the house, they're like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" And you even see some of them go back into their little houses to drag out whoever didn't hear it. There's not many people because it's not a large town and some people are still at work. But one person you definitely do see come out is Chad Mullins from the tavern. And you probably see 8 or 9 other people. Like there's definitely like 1 or 2 children there as well who are just enjoying the fireworks show.
Were we told where they were to report to
This, you know?
if we did get volunteers?
I think you just assume the town master.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
I think Darren would start calling out then. He would be like, "Hear ye, hear ye."
You see, sort of
to gather around.
Yeah, you see sort of 7 or 8 adults, including Chad Mullins. A lot of them, as you say that, are breaking away from the fireworks, but still keeping an eye on it.
The Grand Army are looking for volunteers to sign up. Any man or woman who wishes, please report to myself, the Corporal Jean of Farce, or the Vicomte de Pouliere. Alternatively, please report yourselves to Mayor Absalon Mercier.
So out of the guest house, you would see Chad Mullins is definitely there. Titus, you see Amelie. You'd even see Flora, the rather dull waitress he got earlier. As he were calling out and ending Darian, you'd see Chad Mullins come over to you and he'd be like holding his hand up, like, you know, like that, up in the air with his palm down. He's like, "Sign me up, bro."
Head over to the townsmaster. He'll get you ready, Mr. Mullins.
And I'm not coming with you.
No, you'll be meeting with the rest of the recruits at the Griffin Hill encampment.
Looks around, it's like, "Yeah, but you're gonna be there."
We'll be there.
Sweet. That sounds pretty good. I mean, he gets his dagger out again. It's like, "What do you think of this?" And he does like a little thing with his dagger
Is
in
it
front of you.
Is it peace bonded, his dagger?
No, he's got it out. And he's just like, "Whoo, whoo, whoo," like very pathetically.
Mr. Mullins, I suggest you get that weapon peace-bound before you hurt somebody. Or perhaps get mistaken.
"Yeah, you're right, bro. I'll put it away." And he like puts it away and heads off to the townmaster's hall. And he's like, "I don't know what you think of Titus, but I'm gonna be in the army." And he walks off. See Titus and Amelie looking on at you. Amelie's like, "What are we going to fight up there? I know my brother's there, but is it all really worth the effort?"
Serving your nation, your country, should certainly be worth it. You'll be fighting for your homes. Look at the buildings around you. This is what you fight for.
But for Scouring and for Pincer Wars, we won both of those so early. Are common folk such as us needed in this battle?
Don't forget for a monitor.
Of course, and for any religion and god you may follow. The CORMYR army.
Definitely for a monitor.
Amelie's like, "Who is the monitor?"
What? The greatest god of justice?
I thought that was Torm.
I will pretend for your sake that you did not say that. A monitor is the only god of justice worth. I don't fucking know where I'm going with this.
You hear a guy shout out from a crowd, "What is like?"
Sorry, that actually lagged out for a second. What was that?
"What are the advancement opportunities like?"
Well, if you show talent and skill, I'm sure you can advance through the ranks. Miss Safarsi herself was a soldat until recently, and due to skill and courage, proved that she was a most capable corporal.
Right. So we're going to go into a skill challenge now.
Ooh.
So there's a crowd gathered now. They're all interested. So how well you do in this skill challenge would depend on how many people join. It's more like people from the crowd are going to pose you questions, and you'll say stuff and then roll and see how well it does. So advancement opportunities. Who wants to bring that? Who wants to give that?
I think I just did a fairly
Yeah.
decent argument.
So roll a whatever persuasion.
Yeah, persuasion
Yes.
is what I'm doing, so I'm not lying. 17.
So he looks at you and he's like, "Do we get as good clothes like you do?"
You'll be provided with clothes and armor, yes.
So he looks around and he's like, "Cool." And he's like, "Right, buddy, you can call me a man of the army." And he walks over to Hamlet Hall.
Fantastic to hear.
I love these guys.
So 2 successes technically because you got Chad. You hear another voice call out from the crowd, and they're like, "What about the spleen eaters? They're huge. I don't know how, I'm only a weak little man. How am I meant to take one of those things?" So
I'm sure
and
you can get some tips from the local brothel.
So you can roll a history check if you want to know who the spleen eaters are before you answer the question in whatever way that you want to.
I think Tacto would probably step up with this one.
Okay.
He feels a bit connected / responsible.
Nice. Keep that up. So
He would step towards the guy, and he'd be purposely trying to make himself look as big and imposing as possible.
So Tacto, I will show you this first before we do it, just so you, because with your history check, you know who the spleen eaters are.
Yep.
So they're tribe of orcs that dwelt within the Stonelands. Their thirst of blood, specifically that of humans, was stuff of legends. The tribe made their home in the infamous fortress of Big Bone Deep. I did not make that name up. I really didn't. It's in the lore.
I love these guys. Holy shit.
The stronghold was home to the hidden temple, blah, 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 blah. And, yeah. So they're a pretty intimidating clan.
Okay. So yeah, he's not trying to intimidate the guy directly. He's just trying to make himself look impressive. And he'd say, "You would fight alongside. You are as strong as the man fighting next to you. I've joined the army. We would fight together. Lay these barbarians low." He'd make himself look all big and tough.
You roll an intimidation check.
Yes.
Can you strength if you want?
Yes, please. Adds quite a lot to this. So this becomes a +6. So I'm going to roll it as athletic. Book!
So Tacto, as you're making yourself look really intimidating, like you almost overdo how intimidating that you look, and you see the person in the crowd like quell back, and he's like, and he like runs off back into his house. Another voice from the crowd shouts out, and it's Flora. You can hear, "If I join the army, will I do she does?" And she points at Ember.
Answer probably. No, probably not. Oh, but I mean, you could learn magic, but it takes a long time. Probably not.
And a special visit from a phoenix.
You can learn magic without a phoenix. But
Is she doing anything to try and convince her it's a good idea to join?
We are the worst at this.
I get the feeling Ember might not want. I get the feeling Ember might not really want Flora in the army.
I think
No, that's a fair point.
I think with this, the Viscount would step up and he's like,
It is not what you do with your hands, but what you do with your body, girl. You can use your body to serve the great nation of CORMYR, and you can lay down all your lives for your town, your beautiful town.
he's going to do a little performance check as he jumps up into the air and he's like, I am the Aegis of CORMYR. And he tries to do some flips in the air.
Ooh.
hey,
But seeing such an old bird do it, he's lost the vigor of the youth, and Flora's just like, oh, is that it? And you see her like get bored and go back into the house.
I tried.
Come on, guys, this is an important one.
Okay, got to come up with a good question. Okay.
Well, me and Tom have already done one.
Okay. Amelie calls out from the crowd, my father stopped me from joining the Grand Army in my youth, along with my brother Chevrolet, Rupert Chevrolet, who did very well. I am hoping that the army does not discriminate against women as it did in the past. Is this true?
Certainly.
If
I
Ember
myself-
and
Sorry,
Ember
go on.
and Jane are both doing this, they can both present their points, and whoever does the roll can do it with advantage.
You can go, Hannah.
Ember will say, well, I don't have the features of a human. She looks around at everyone looks kind of similar apart from Takte. Well, Birdman as well.
But
Yeah.
everyone else in the crowd is definitely a human.
Yeah. But I'm still female, I haven't been discriminated against, and I don't think anybody would. I feel like there's more girls in the group than boys at this point, to be honest. What do you think, Joan?
I think that the opportunities for women are just as good as they are for men. For example, amongst us new recruits, we were given a competition for one of us to become the corporal, and it was between myself and my maid servant Gilly. So I do not think that it was made any easier for us just because we are women.
Exactly, and I even won the one. Well, I didn't win, but Joan won, and I came pretty close. We won the race, and
Absolutely.
the men were last. She looks around.
So whoever wants to can roll whatever skill they think fits with advantage to see if you can convince
Can I
Amelie.
do persuasion?
Yes. Thing is
Okay.
special. So she looks at both of you for a while, and then she nods and just like, with such great women in the army and ones of such skill, I cannot deny that I will join. And you see her walk off along with a few other people from the crowd towards the Townmaster's Hall.
How many do we get in total?
So let me just work this out. So you got one. So overall, you got 6 people, which is most of the crowd that you had there.
Nice.
Still need 4 more.
Well, he said they were the volunteers, right? We got more than half of them.
True. Perhaps we, if we rest in the morning, we can help out the place a bit more, it might inspire a few more faces to show up.
Exactly.
6 of 10 seems a good beginning.
I concur.
Good head start.
I think for the evening, though, we should probably retire to the bunkhouse.
So at this point, it's probably about 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's about time
For bed.
To rest
for
before bed.
for chilling.
Yeah. I assume everyone else would go and get a bunk from the tavern.
Mm-hmm. Darren will order
Possibly.
dinner as well.
Yeah.
How
So-
much money's for the bunk?
Let me have a look. For a bunk, it is. Have a look. So for a room per night is 2 silver for a single and 4 silver for a double.
How much for food?
Food is a leg of lamb, which is 5 copper pieces,
Yeah, Darren.
or there's a piece of cheese for 2 copper pieces.
Darren, I have a leg of lamb again.
And obviously the food counts as rations.
Yeah.
So what's the room? 2 silver for a single.
Yeah.
I am willing to share if anybody else wants to. But if not, I will take my own single room.
I have acquired my own single one, so
As have I.
Well, I've got a single one, but if you want to share, join.
Yes, I do not mind, Mademoiselle wins.
Save money.
Most certainly.
Well,
I think it's what a monitor would want.
So they would tell you that the bunkhouse has all single rooms and there's double rooms in the other building, just in case that influences your decision.
What was
So
that,
the-
sorry?
What's the other building?
The double rooms are within the guest house, and
Uh-huh.
the bunk rooms are within the building. That guy you didn't like was at.
So if you get a double, you two get to have a nice time in the guest house, while me and Darian are stuck with Sleazy McGeezy over in the bunkhouse.
It's your fault for choosing to be in the bunkhouse.
Darren's fine being in the bunkhouse for this evening.
Yeah, I typed.
With old sexual predator McGee over there.
The only thing that would happen if you're all deciding to go to sleep is Titus and Amelie would be at the table, and that's about it. They wouldn't really cause anything unless you decided to talk to them yourselves. But if you didn't, then they wouldn't.
No, I don't think Darren would this evening.
I
Okay.
think after food, Otakte actually wants to go off and do his own thing.
Okay. Yep.
Depending on how much space there is inside the settlement, it would either be inside or outside the walls. Like this space over here looks kind of okay.
Yeah, that it is quite isolated over there. You wouldn't see many people.
So he wants to do a little ritual.
Mhm.
It's not nothing to do with the class. It's just for his people and their custom for the hunt. So he would build a very small little fire, just enough for some of to have a big enough small branch to be able to draw with charcoal.
Mhm.
And he would so he'd set his little fire and he'd kneel down in front of it and he'd say some words to the spirits of the hunt and this sort of keep in mind his brethren from back in the tribe. And then he would say the name of Three Tusk,
Mhm.
and he would formally declare the hunt on Three Tusk to have begun.
Mhm.
And then he would take the fresh charcoal, still very hot, and essentially scar it into his skin on his forearms as
Mhm.
3 long lines to represent the 3 tusks on both arms.
It's
running vertically along.
it's strange how they described Free Tusk, because they almost made it sound like the tusk was going laterally under his jaw rather than following it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's like a true deformity.
so he would mimic that in the scarring then.
Hmm.
So it'd be 2 long lines and then 1 crossing it.
I
Like
think I know Attackte wouldn't really care, but he would see some like commoners not gathering around to watch, but they would give you like more like curious looks as they looked over like where he's doing it, but more just as a curiosity.
He expected as much, but yeah, like you say, he's doing his own thing.
Hmm.
And once he's done, and this would only be maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. Once he's done, he'd make sure the small fire is out, and he'd take some water from the pond and douse the area and wash his face and wash his arms as well, so that as the charcoal is washed off, you just see the red scars in the skin underneath. Yeah, and then he'd head back.
So anything else? Is there anything else anyone would want to do before they have their rest?
Arian definitely wants to, but if other people want to go first, then that's fine.
Yeah, I'll go first because it's small.
Okay.
So during dinner, Ember would just, for anyone's curiosity, she'd be doing her little pyrography thingy,
Oh, yeah.
and she'd be drawing on the wood. She'd be drawing tree houses that look like where she lives in her clan.
Mhm.
Little tree houses, kind of like this picture, but obviously without a ladder or anything or whatever.
Oh, they're very cute.
So yeah, she'd be like, yeah. So I live in kind of like this house, and then she'd draw another one and be like, this is where my brother lives, etc.
Mm-hmm. You'd see the tavern owner looking over, but once she sort of gave a glimpse, she kind of leaves you alone. You'd think she'd actually kind of like the tables being decorated like that.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, that's it.
Anyone else? Jane?
No, I don't really think so.
Okay.
Should probably offer to do Flora's hair for her, but other than that, not really.
And Flora definitely like, oh yeah, okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Did you roll on your pyrography, Ember?
I don't know, but I will.
Yeah. And Jane, you can roll on your braiding if you want. How did you get that?
How do I roll on braiding?
It's just a d20. I think you got a point from braid. Oh, I mean rotary. Yeah.
13.
Let me have a look at the table. So Ember got satisfying, so she just gains a point of proficiency. And Joan, you get encouraging. You can add 1 point of proficiency to another member of a party and 1 for yourself.
Thank you. She'd give it to Ember, as Ember's probably in the room with them, I imagine.
Yeah.
What is it for?
Braiding hair. Braiding fur.
You're
Flora-
welcome!
Flora would look at you, Joan. She'd be like, I've never had such a lovely haircut, Joan.
I just can't even engage with her. It's just literally.
I heard you saying, Joan, about a man of a tour or some. Who is he?
Oh, a monitor?
A man?
He is a god. So better than a man.
Like Sean T?
Joan would know who that is, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she's like the god of fertility, of like growth and fertility, and sort of what you'd expect from an agrarian town.
It is a similar concept, but a monitor is very based on justice and everything being fair. And he is the sun god.
He's nice, yeah?
I think so.
Huh.
I have dedicated the last 60 years of my life to him. So I hope so.
60? But
Yeah.
you only look like 20.
Thank you. That is because I am an elf. I am actually very young for an elf. I am only 127, I think.
Oh, that's more than me. I'm only like 19, and I'm not even married yet.
I mean, I am 127 and I am not married yet, so
Well, I can tell everyone about this a man of a tour if you want. I mean,
Oh,
I've chat to a lot of people.
thank you. That would be very helpful. I believe strongly in the message of a monitor, so it would be good to have someone to spread that message. Thank you.
Is he tall?
I don't know. He's a god.
Oh, right. I guess he must be pretty, muscly then.
I don't know. He is a god. I mean, I'm guessing she wouldn't have seen a monitor in a corporeal form.
I think it'd be difficult to say. I mean, I think you just get the idea that she doesn't really know what it is, but she seems infused because he did her hair.
Yes, yes, Mademoiselle Flora. He is very tall and very muscular.
That's what I like.
Yes, I thought so. Oh wait, is this description? Monitor. Oh no, it says. Oh wait, totally not. Looked like a lanky, silver white-haired and short man with a white 10-day growth of beard. So no.
He
Yes.
sounds great.
He is tall and muscular. Exactly what all of the women are looking for.
Yeah.
So make sure you spread the word.
I will, don't worry. I'll tell Titus soon. I'm sure he'll love it.
Thank you. And if you ever see any hyenas coming into town, you know it is a monitor visiting.
What's the hyena?
Apparently it says something about 30. He manifests as 13 giant hyenas.
Mm.
What's a hyena?
It is like a big spotty dog that laughs a lot.
Oh, like a dog. Yeah. That's
Yes.
nice.
Oh my god. I don't want to be mean to her, but she's honestly like a pheasant.
She's the third rock thud castle of.
But Rock Thug Castle was hilarious. This was like, oh my god, I'm gonna
Love her.
kill.
She's great. I think she should be
She's
your
one of
new
those
Jilly
people
or
that
Gilly.
like totally would come into the house and be like, oh, and so they painted, right? Yes. And what did they paint with? Paint.
But after a while, she'd be like,
I have to get back to work now, yeah, but it was nice, so I'll see you
Absolutely.
later.
It was nice to meet you, Mademoiselle Flora. Thank you for letting me do your hair for you.
No, I have to do yours next time now you showed me.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
you see her walk off,
Well,
right?
I wish I was more Ingvar right now because I'd be fucking going after her.
I think Ingvar even likes a little spark of intelligence, right?
Yes, indeed. Something.
I meant to sacrifice, not to join.
Yeah, all right.
Setting
Yeah.
the were rats on her.
Oh, fucking Tom.
Yeah, Darian definitely wants to do something this evening.
Okay, I think everyone's done. So, what does he want to do?
So he wants to retire to his room, and
Okay, I'll do
after he's
later.
eaten,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't mind which one it would be. Maybe this one.
Can everyone else put themselves in whichever room they think they'd be in?
Sure.
I'll get through.
Oh wait, Ember and Jane would be in the other building, wouldn't they?
Yeah, we would. Oh, baby. Good deal. High five.
I think I've got the cameras if you want to watch whatever happens.
Mine wasn't working.
Wasn't it? Oh, it's because it's done that thing. I'll do it next time, so just... Yeah, I don't know.
Let me in.
Oh, sorry, yeah, doors.
My house. Yeah, Darren would retire to his room. He'd make sure the door is locked and the curtains are drawn.
Yeah.
And he would reach into his satchel, his backpack, and he would call out for Dregbo.
Yeah, and Dregbo crawled out and he's like, "Are you having a fun day?
As always,
Where are we exactly?"
we are currently in Griffin Hill.
I see. Why do you call on Dregbo?
I have a few questions for you. First of all,
Oh, really?
what was the name of the Erinyes who... I can't remember her name now.
Asheris.
Sure, so let me quickly write that down. Sure.
Put some more appropriate music on.
He would say, I have some questions of you. And he holds out his hands, and he like holds up the kind of like burn marks from the fire from Asheris.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Asheris, the one who did this. You saw, correct?
So what?
You
You
saw her.
burn?
You precisely.
I have served her many times before. Many ones like you.
But you saw me burn, correct?
Kind of shrugs.
Darren, 100% doing an insight check.
Okay.
Darren wants to know this information real bad. Oh, fuck. Do I have inspiration? Don't think so. No, I don't. Fuck. In that
Yeah,
case,
you can't tell.
in that case, then Darian will say, "You are bound to service with me. I would have it now that you tell me if you saw whether I was burnt or not."
I was never bound to serve you. I serve her.
Regardless, I have made a contract with your master. If he is to give me power and I am to do his bidding, then I wish to know. A simple question. He is trying to 100% intimidate.
Yeah.
Yes, 19.
So he sort of like goes back behind this little candle.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I saw.
Good. Let me quickly write that down because that's real important to Darian. I'll explain after the session why if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Very good. That is all I wanted to know on that subject. It is good we have an understanding.
I also heard about. I saw the Zentarim out there.
Indeed, so did I.
She was like messed with. Maybe you should do something.
Perhaps. I have an idea in mind, but it requires gold.
He pats like on his where his pockets would be if he's wearing clothes, and he's like, "I'm all out."
He smiles and says, in due time, these Zentarim I will perform these tasks for Lady Asharis and your true master, Disputer. But first I must gather gold. But I am interested of your true form. Clearly you are not a rat, although perhaps the description fits you.
Kind of looks at you. He's like, "You'll see in time when it is needed."
And if you serve Lady Asharis, are you simply a spy on me? Or are you here to assist me?
Or am I here to help myself?
Perhaps. I'm curious. I'd like to know.
I'm sure you would.
He leans back and he says, I do not see why this relationship needs to be so hostile. If I am to help Lady Asharis, then also perhaps I can help you.
Why, what would you do for me?
What do you want? Everyone wants something. If devil, human.
Drakebo is particular to jewelry.
Jewelry? As simple as
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Like charming a woman.
Not just anything. The most exquisite. Have you heard? Hang on. What's it called? Can't remember what it's called. The Baskiers have a secret cavern that they obtain their gold from. I would most like to find it.
Let me quickly write. I'm just going to write that in the chat for now.
I do not know its name, but I'm sure you could find that out.
What is it? Secret place where they store their gold?
Yeah, so do a history check, Darren, to
Yeah.
see what you know.
15.
So you know the crown has a lot of wealth. You're not like there are definitely rumors that they have secret mines somewhere. It's why a lot of bribing the royal family doesn't work, because they've just got an endless supply of gold.
Yeah.
And they only release it at a certain rate, so there's like not too much inflation. And a lot of people over the years have tried to find out where this gold or whatever it is, but no one's been able to find it. It's somewhere in CORMYR, but they have absolutely no idea where.
Interesting. It's a long sought after location. Perhaps
I'm
if,
sure Mistress Asharis would appreciate it as well.
that certainly seems achievable in time, but first I must restore my position within the noble families. To have some sway with their kind means that I could perhaps be more able to find this information, rather in my current position. I do not think it would be possible. So,
I cannot see what use you get out of me while your friends are around.
well, I was going to ask what kind of abilities a creature such as you possess. How could we help each other? If I am to begin the process of working towards this goal, I need to know that I have a return gift from yourself.
You already have gifts.
That is from Lady Asharis, not from yourself. We
I
are
am not here
discussing.
to serve you, but I do have abilities.
I am not asking you to serve me. I am asking for a mutual arrangement that benefits both of us. Do you long to be beyond your station, Dregbo?
And so do you, Hunt Crown.
Then our goals are aligned, are they not?
Just looks at you.
He just smiles and just says, "What kind of abilities do you have then? I am curious."
I can become invisible.
Interesting. That could certainly prove useful.
The darkness does not impede Dregbo either.
Also good to know.
And of course, I can always deal out a few little bits of damage to people.
And you say this is not your true form?
This is my best form.
Are you able to shapeshift then?
Of course,
How small?
smaller than now. Marginally.
Small enough to slip under one of these doors.
Looks at the doors. Maybe not under, but maybe through the cracks.
Perhaps there is something smaller I can do for you in the meantime, Dregbo. I am curious to investigate the room of this Zentarim man. But to do so would put myself at risk. And currently, I am not willing to do that for something that could simply not be worth it. However, with your capabilities, I think you would be the ideal candidate.
Sort of size. Did he have gold or necklaces then?
He had a number of magical items. Perhaps that might interest you.
Yes, but I probably couldn't carry them out in my form.
As long as we know they are there. Perhaps he has gold on him as well. I imagine a merchant does not keep his gold far.
You see Dregbo just disappears, goes invisible.
Yeah, Darian's keenly watching the candle as it sort of floats in the breeze of the air slightly.
Probably wait about 15 minutes. Let me have a look. Boop, boop, boop. You get advantage on stealth checks, right?
If you're invisible, yeah.
Yeah. Oh fuck, Jesus, that's good. You got on at 20.
Oh,
Yes, Dregbo.
Let me just do the perception of the guy. Where is he? There we go. Oh, no, wrong thing. So, after 15 minutes, Dregbo appears back on the table where he left. You see the candle sort of flicker as he arrives and the table wobble slightly.
Mm-hmm. What did you find?
A lot. He has about 800 gold on him. He has a beautiful cloak, as well as some gloves.
Yes, that sounds like the magical items that Miss Wynne's described. Very well. Please go
I
on.
also found some other details. He has a signet ring of a wolf.
Interesting. Does that sound
Derek,
familiar to Darren at all?
did you roll for what you knew about the Zentrum earlier?
No, I just rolled I think it was just a perception check. To notice he had a
Roll to
Zentrim
see-
tattoo.
Roll to see what you know of the Zentrum.
13.
Sounds like a rank to you, but you're not sure how high up.
Perhaps a rank within the Zentrim. I do not know which.
He had numerous weapons in there as well. His guards are very well armored. Not a man to be trifled with.
Apparently not. Very well. We know who we trifle with. If this is what Lady Asharis requires of me to ensure that I restore my family's name, then I
Maybe you could get your friends to lure him out and then we can beat him to death.
Such a crude way of doing things, Dragboy. You do not think wide enough. You
I
will...
do. I enjoy the slaughter.
Well, I think perhaps a better method. You were there when we visited the herbalist today.
Indeed.
When we have enough gold, I can get my hands on some poison.
It might be worth knowing how long he is staying here.
Very true. I shall ask him this evening.
He did not seem to like you earlier.
No. But if he is well armored, as you say, then perhaps the direct route would not be the best. I think the poison method will have to do, and if he does choose to move on, then so be it, and we shall look for more Zentrim.
They're always around.
Precisely. That is all I require of you, Dregbo. Is there anything you require of me in turn?
Nothing. And he goes invisible. And you feel him scurry. You see him scurry into your backpack.
Yeah. Darian does want to go out and talk to this guy, then if he's still there.
So if you went out and looked, it'd probably be about 9 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be that. He'd have retired to his room. You'd see the guards outside, both of the guards outside of his room.
Yeah, he would go up to talk to the guards, definitely.
Okay.
Can't get out of the room if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Token there. I assume your boss is retired for the evening.
No shit.
Ah, that is a shame. I wish to apologize for my manner earlier and show my interest in his goods.
He told us all about you, Lordling. It's the most interesting story.
I'm sure
This guy talking.
I'm sure he did. A lot of people speak. How long is your boss in Griffin Hill for? I would most Like to talk to him about these stories over a drink?
He's here as long as he fucking well pleases. He looks at you through the visor.
How do I
He does not
respond?
take kindly to people talking to him like that. He is from Waterdeep. They do not accept feudal arrogance.
Lewis is trying to think how Darian should respond.
Yeah.
Difficult. Any suggestions? No, would be greatly appreciative.
These guys are highly armoured.
Yeah.
Their armour looks intimidating.
There is no way I'm trifling with them, but I'm trying to think if there's anything I can say.
This one would be like, if you want to buy something, come back tomorrow. We're not here for much longer.
Very well. Tomorrow it is. Good evening, gentlemen. And he'll head off.
They don't respond.
That was enough information, I think.
And you hear them laugh as you go back to your room.
Okay. I think that's all I'm going to get.
Right. So if you all want to, you can take a long rest.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just go to the toilet.
Fuck, it's so hard being sneaky. How'd you do it, Tom?
Have to have a split brain,
Yeah.
sneaky brain, and outwards nice person brain.
I assume you didn't get the info off him then?
I got enough that I know he's at least here tomorrow. And they're leaving soon, which I think means that he's leaving at least the day after tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
I need to earn more gold before then. Means I may have to sell something important. Perhaps go to the town master and ask for an advance.
Mhm. Yeah.
How much gold do you need?
100 gold for the poison. And I've got 28 gold.
28 gold.
Well, I've got some stuff I can sell. I've got that ring of necrotic resistance if I don't really want to sell that, but
Yeah. Ember, any gold?
I've got a signet ring I can sell as well, but he doesn't really want to sell that because it's his family's ring.
Yeah.
Apart from that, not much.
Could always steal Jones' money.
Did we get some money from... Oh no, that we're getting that later, aren't we? When she comes back.
Yeah. Could be the next day.
Possibly. God, it's so fucking different playing Darian compared to playing Mackie or Bongo.
Oh, that was one thing. Ember wouldn't do the thing with her feather, would she, Hannah?
I don't know what I need to do with it. Just sit on.
I think it would be like innate, like it might just happen without her sort of... I don't know. It depends how you want it to work, really.
I'll think about it for next time.
Yeah, okay. I just didn't want to leave it out if you wanted it in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about finishing at 11 tonight because Hannah's here. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Fine with me.
It might be something else as well, you never know.
I love Flora. Flora's the best. All you haters.
Don't you like Niles McGinney?
I like all of them. I
like,
genuinely do.
I like them all, but Darian doesn't.
No. How can you like that guy? Right. So,
Let me have a look at the calendar, whether it would be in the morning. Oh, I'll change the music back as well. Is it? So, Kaifon 3rd. What time would everyone be waking up?
Probably about 7:30.
Guess if people are waking Ember up then.
Yeah, Tacto would be up with the dawn.
Yeah. Derry wouldn't be up long after that, I think.
So, as you wake up, it's quite a mild day. There's a light breeze that you can feel pushing through your windows. There's steady rainfall. It's not too much. It's just making the sort of whole village seem a bit more lush, but it's overcast and a bit dark today.
Rain. It doesn't like rain.
Yeah. I was trying to I want to try and bring the little calendar and the weather in because I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bit grumpy then because it's raining.
Would you all sort of meet up in the guest house to start?
Yeah, Darren definitely want to get some breakfast first.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Who would be there? Who wouldn't be? Let's go from over here. Right. So it's quite quiet in the morning. The only people you see within the guest house would be the guy who was staring at you all through last night, but he seems to appear to have moved tables. You see Chad Mullins, who's pretty jovial at the table. He seems to just have another rack of drinks which he's lined up. You don't know if it was this morning or whenever. And you see Flora ready to serve you all as before.
Oh, look at her picture. Flora!
Yeah, Darren would order another leg of lamb, so that was 5 copper pieces, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Leg of lamb,
Tacto
yeah.
will do the same. Yeah.
Leg of lamb, and it's going to burn it like normal.
And I forgot to mention that throughout the night there was a very low level of barring, like meh, like incessant. Like I don't know if it would have affected how your characters would have slept, or
I think Darren
Probably
would have
not.
been alright, yeah.
Imagine the wildlife on a Tacto's island's quite loud.
Darren would speak to Joan and say, good morning, Corporal. What was your plan for today? Do you have anything? What mission would you like us to attend to first?
Ask me another? Any ideas, guys?
We could investigate the murders.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Investigate murder sounds cool.
I think if we're going to get more volunteers for the army as well, then perhaps solving the problem closest to home would be best seen to first.
I think during this conversation you'd overhear Chad Mullins in the background being like, "Come on, man, you got to join the army." Chad's going. Your sister's going. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go? You could be the big old bard of the army. And Titus is like, I really don't know, Chad. I just don't really think it's my kind of scene. And he like flicks his hair. I'm like, I'm more of a, and it sort of goes on like that.
Perhaps Mr. Chevrolet over there could be a potential volunteer, though.
Of course, he's a fine stock from CORMYR.
Precisely. I think Darren would get up and Go to sort of sit across from him. Mr. Mullins, good morning.
Oh, you right, man? I can't wait to be a soldier in the army. It's we'll be equal rank, you know. It's pretty cool.
Yes, very good. Who's your friend here?
Man, this is Titus. He's they call him the Bard of Griffin Hill. And Titus is like, yeah, they do, but I don't really play any instruments. I'm more of a gambler. But don't tell my sister I'm still doing it.
Of course. Who's your sister? The woman who signed up for the army yesterday, correct? I think I saw you with somebody.
Yeah, Emily. Yes, yes. And I've met your friend. Points at Atakte. He seemed very nice. He sort of leans over, and is like, I've never seen a half-orc before. I always thought there'd be a more, but he was very jovial. It was very nice.
Yes, Mr. Red Wolf is a pleasant soul, one might say.
And I really enjoyed your other friend's fireworks show. It was most impressive.
Yes, Miss Wins is quite talented with magic. You say you're a gambler?
Yes, I played Timora's flavor quite a lot.
Oh, I'm not so much a gambler myself, but I play a lot of dragon chess. If you're ever up for a game.
I don't really have tactical capability for that game, but I'm always down for Timora's favor if you want. I mean, he kind of shrugs. It's going to be lonely here without Chad, and Chad's like, "Yeah, man, you got to come join the army."
Mr. Mullins is not
the
wrong.
best recruiter ever.
It's definitely a good place, and I'm sure you'll find a lot of gamblers there. Just recently, I met a somewhat of a gambling man on my journeys as a soldat.
Sort of looks around. He's like, I tell you what, Mistress Timora, she's always been a lead in my life. So maybe if we played around, maybe with your friends of Timora's favor, and maybe if I don't do so well, maybe it's a sign that I should give up gambling and maybe try a new path in life. And Chad's like, yeah, man, that's the spirit.
Sounds like an idea to me. And they call over to the rest of the group.
Nimbus looks over. You want to play a game now?
Well, it's Mr. Titus here. He says he's interested in the army, but he needs a bit of guidance from Lady Timora. So perhaps if we play a game and the things don't go so much in his favour, then perhaps Miss Timora is indicating she wants bigger things for him, such as joining the grandest army across all of Faerun.
You know, if Ruvert has made Major, I'm sure I could do it just as well as him as well, but we will see. Maybe, I'm not sure where my place is.
Ah, you know Ruvert, do you?
He's my brother.
Ah, I see the resemblance now you mention it. Ah, he is I have worked with him. He is a good man.
I always have been the youngest and I suppose the most carefree.
Of course. Well, I am down for a game if everyone else is.
I'll play. To remind me of what to actually do.
So he would, and he'd bring out a coin and he'd be like, is this my lucky coin? I don't have much left, but I will put it in as a wager. And he puts in his lucky coin of Timora, which I will show you now.
Nice.
And he would explain how to play Timora's favor.
Okay.
She should find that.
Roll the dice and may turn review. Players roll 2d6. If they had a 7 or a 12, the player wins. Gamblers can double the bet to add 1d6 to the total. Slightly sounds less perception. If the character is greater, then they may roll less once. Less than they announce for the player. Okay.
Sounds
Interesting.
fine.
Yep,
Okay.
sounds good to me.
So Titus is putting in his lucky coin. Oh, yep. Go ahead.
How is it played against each other? Feels like the kind of thing you play against the house.
Well, I guess Titus is the house, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
he will fulfill the bets that we place.
Yeah. Which
Okay.
is essentially his coin because it's quite valuable.
Okay. Oh, I see. We're not betting. We're trying to win his coin.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So, the Viscount would come over and sit on a stool. He's like,
Gambling is a young man's game, not one for older stars like me.
Does Joan want to play, or is gambling against a monitor?
A monitor does not approve of gambling. There is too much chance for cheating.
Very true.
okay. So I guess he would go first.
Yeah.
Yep, so we'll do his. I'll say every time he does it, he'll add a silver piece in.
Okay.
Well, I can't remember what the values were.
What were the values?
If it adds 7 or 12, the player wins. Okay, he'll do one more.
6.
10.
He'll stick at 10. Oh, do you think it's sticking, or do you think you keep rolling until you go out?
This is what I mean. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
blackjack. You usually play against the house, but yeah, I guess a way to adapt it to against each other is to play with a pot.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of like you'd go round, and whenever anyone wins, they get the pot.
What, like on it or highest numbered,
But then
closest
there's-
number to it?
Then there's no
But then you could split the pot if there's like multiple winners.
Yeah, that's a good point.
in a round.
Yeah.
But then what's the incentive to bet high?
To roll again, I guess.
Getting everyone else's money, I guess.
So is there a
I think there'd have to
Same.
be there'd have to be a minimum bet. So you'd have to put in a silver, and then
Let's-
if you want to roll
yeah.
again, you have to put in another silver.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
works. So he's put in 2 silver and his coin.
So everyone has to put in a silver to start with.
Yeah.
silver removed?
So in the pot currently, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 silver because he's put an extra one in.
You put an extra 2 in.
Extra 2 in, so 7 silver.
I won.
Yep. So Darian. Oof. So
Yeah,
the
Darian.
pot splits.
Yeah, Darren's not gonna roll again. It's not gonna put in more money to loot.
I think the pot only splits if there's multiple winners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why Darren's not bothering because
Yeah.
it's a split pot anyway. So
Yeah.
Six.
So what's she doing? Getting for the 12, or is she pulling out?
What do I have to do? Is it just one more, or is it?
Pay
can I
one
do-
more silver to roll an extra d6. If you roll a 1 or a 6, you win as well, as Otacte.
It's
Split
one.
the
D6.
winnings.
Or does it have to be 2?
Oh, has to be, it's 1.
1. Okay. So yeah, she'll do another silver for 1 more d6. Let me remove it first.
Yeah, you would as well.
Yeah. Or Chad Mullins.
Let's go, Chad. Lucky headband.
Mullins, fuck me. Nope.
Oh man, this is bullshit.
That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 silver. Split
silver
between
each.
Otakte and.
So the coin is also in there.
So who gets that?
Well, play the same game again against each other.
Okay.
As Titus looks on, and he's like, I guess I should follow my siblings.
Hmm. No.
What's a bad roll? Oh my god, you both
Hey,
got the same thing!
I guess we just
Right.
keep going until we hit 7, right? To see who gets the
Yeah.
coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 12.
Well,
Hey!
Yeah.
Well, you get a chance as well.
nope.
Alright, Otakte, who's probably the person who wants it the least, gets Timora's lucky coin.
I'll put
Damn
it
it, I
in.
wanted to
The,
do my coin collecting!
Oh.
I'll put it in the roll 20 so you can see it, and add it to your inventory.
He's probably just gonna sneak it back into that guy's bag, to be honest. But I will add it for lucky coin of Timora. Beep.
Well, I guess I should go and see the mayor. Chad's like, yeah, bro, we're going to be fighting those spleen eaters alone. And he's like, you didn't say anything about the spleen eaters. And he's like, yeah, man, they're going to get us. And they walk out.
My god, I love them both. I'm also, if
7 out of
Bard
10.
Chevrolet dies in the army, I'm gonna be the saddest fucking man in the world.
Yep.
Well, Chad Mullins, man.
The ultimate lucky talisman.
Well, one more for the army then.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, do you all finish up having your breakfast and your
Mhm.
lovely milk drink if you're having it?
Yeah,
We
I
just
think
have-
so. Then head
Not
out
either with
to
the milk drink.
head out to the mill, right?
Okay, you're heading to the mill.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Right. So, as you walk over to Griffin Mill, you feel the sort of heavy. It's a bit like the ground. There's not proper paths in this place, and it's just like a bit of a trudge. And eventually, you'd walk round to the mill, look up at it. You can see the turbine going round and round, and you see a small stall on the outside, and the dwarf seems to be manning the sort of stall. He's got a tiny pair of spectacles on, and as he sees you walking up, he casts his eyes up at you, looks down. He's like,
Where do you want our tokens?
wherever you want. This is just sort of a scene.
Oh, it's black. Oh, there we go. Brings it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darian would walk up and just say, "Good morning to you."
Man, good morning.
Are you what's his name? Where is it? Strongbulin Bonsander.
Yes, me.
We've been sent.
Let's see. Huh?
Sorry, go on.
Let's see my goods.
I certainly would like a look. Yes.
There you go.
And he like gestures around. See sacks of wool. You see some mutton. See some ooze milk, ooze butter, and some ooze cream. He's like,
What do you want?
All looks good. Perhaps I may come back for some used milk later, but for the moment, me and my companions, we have been sent to look into the recent string of murders that have been happening.
Those dimwits.
Do you know anything?
Yeah, they're my apprentices.
I see. Your apprentices have been murdered.
Yeah.
Let's write that down. And what were their names? Were they from Griffin Hill, I assume?
Yeah, they're from here.
He sort of like pauses. He tries to think of their names.
There's Edgar Nevet. There was Kane Grande.
Just those two.
Yeah, 2 murders, 2 dead people.
I see. How were
Yeah.
they murdered, if you don't mind me asking? Who found the bodies?
I found them.
And
Yeah.
how were they murdered?
Well, the thing is about butchery tools, you know, they're very sharp. And there's a lot of idiots up here who doesn't know how to use them. It cost me a lot of money, and now I have to go back to Arabelle, and I've got to order new butchery tools because they're gone. Probably just fell on them, and they, you know, probably just fell on them and they died. They're idiots.
So someone has stolen your tools and used them in these murders, perhaps?
Probably. Care more about the tools than the lads, to be honest. They're more valuable.
I'm trying to think what to say. And when were these 2 lads of yours murdered?
Oh. Edgar was murdered about 10 days ago, and then no wait, I can't remember what. Kane was 10 days ago, and Edgar 4 days ago. They got him down at the temple.
Did you see anyone suspicious or anyone who might have had a grudge against either your apprentices to do such a
I
crime?
didn't know him. Didn't want to know him.
Can Darren do an insight check?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, fuck. Oh, it's 19. Good.
You get the feeling, Darian, that this guy does not give a complete shit about these guys. He didn't want to know them. He didn't know them at all. He just had them because he needed to.
Yeah. I think if we can garner any other information out of him.
Did he say where they were murdered? Were they in the same place?
He didn't say.
A good point. Do you want to ask, considering it was your idea?
You can ask.
Okay. Where exactly were these 2 murdered?
They were murdered in the abattoir. Fitting place, really.
Whereabouts is that?
Points at like a shed next to a mill, and he's like,
Over there.
Is it back in use, or is it...
Yeah, work doesn't stop just 'cause 2 boys got murdered.
Fair enough.
Won't be
You
able
can
to
have-
see any fresh blood then.
No. Probably only going to say sheep's blood in there.
And do you know who might have... Did they have family? Or did you not know these people at all?
Oh,
he lets out that kind of sigh.
Yeah.
oh. If you really want to know. Edgar, young boy, 19. Brown hair, short, you know. Have you heard of the Nevet family? Have you been here that long?
Can't say I have.
Well, there's one of them working down a guest house. You heard of her?
I've heard of the guest house. What is her name?
I don't know. She's a dim little thing.
I think I might know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the Navette. There. I took him on as an apprentice after Kane had died. Kane had been here 4 years, you see, but
Did Kane have any family?
no, but he was a bit of a player.
A player? Was he
Yeah, he got around a bit.
with anyone in particular?
There was. I'm not one to kiss and tell for someone else. But yeah, most of the town.
Most of the town, interesting. Could you point out anyone in specifically that he got around with?
He's gonna see if he actually knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a girl, she had dark hair. Can't remember her name. Said she's the beauty of the town.
Beauty of the town. Interesting. What specifically were the tools used in the murder? I assume like a cleaver or something like that.
I didn't get a good look before they took him away, but all I know is what's gone is the cleavers and the bigger knives. I think one of them had lacerations, but I didn't want to look, to be honest. Kill enough sheep a day, don't want to see it on a humanoid.
Did you see this brown-haired girl, the beauty of the town, around at the time of the murder?
I mean, the murders must have happened after I went home. I came back in the morning and they were dead.
I see. And would Kane and Edgar work late into the night on a regular basis, or?
Oh yeah, that's why they're my apprentices, so I could go home.
I see. Very well. I don't think we can get much more information out of Mr. Bonsander here, so I suggest perhaps we go and speak to Matrias Torbay at the temple, Corporal.
If you find my tools, I'd appreciate you brought them back.
Of course. Very well. Good day, sir.
Have a good day.
Okay. Unless anyone else wants to ask him something, I can't think of anything else.
Hannah's put one. He would say to that, he'd be like,
They normally stay until the work is done. Could be 1, 2 a.m. I never stay that late.
Has he ever seen his apprentices doing anything other than work in the abattoir?
Of course, they laze about all the fucking time.
he would gesture over.
You know, I would point you over, but I've cleaned it since and there's been multiple. Well, you know, since then.
You can still
just-
search around the building.
There's just a lot of wool in there.
I think perhaps we should have a look anyway. Just in case the others might have missed something.
he looks at you and he's like,
Go ahead, I don't mind.
Okay. Darian would ask who is probably the best, got the keenest eye. Who's the best at investigation? I got a +2.
Investigation, no, 0.
I'm +2 as well.
Joan?
V. Viscount.
Two, baby.
Ooh,
Sorry.
that's all right. Viscount has -1.
Nice. Then Darian would help Joan look then if she's got the best. Cool.
Am I rolling? Sorry.
You're rolling with advantage as you're looking around this abattoir. So, as you're looking around the abattoir, you look inside the building, just streaked with blood. There's like with all the blood, there's no way to tell. Like this could be anything. You do see tufts of wool, obviously, as the animals have got caught while Strombulin was harvesting them. When you look outside of the building, you don't notice any like obvious footprints in places where they shouldn't be. It really, there's not much to go on outside of this building. And knowing that it was 4 and 10 days ago, you would notice that the building is easy to get into. It's like someone could have just wandered in. There's no locks. It's like, why would anyone really want to break into an abattoir?
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Darian,
Yeah,
because I've got use of it, so I might as well. Darian's going to use Hell Sight, which means as an action you can extend your awareness out from you until the end of your next turn. You know the location of creatures within 60 feet that are using magic to hide or disguise themselves.
And how far is that? 60 feet?
60 feet.
Okay. So, as you do, you obviously get the spark of what's his Drakebow in your backpack. You don't see anything nearby that could be anything else.
Worth a try.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do we know where the woman is, or where he saw her? Does he know?
I think we need to ask someone else about that, because she's going by the name the Beauty of the Town, and I'm going to assume that other people may have heard of her.
Yeah, well, that's the only lead I can think of we got at the moment, though.
The other one was that the townsmaster said we could talk to Matriarch Torbe, the head priest of the Shantae Temple. She may be able to help, because she's interred the bodies.
Okay, yeah. Go look at the bodies.
Yeah, I think we should do that. I don't think it looks like there's going to be much here.
Yeah, so as he walked out, Strolmlin would be like, I guess you didn't find anything.
No, I did not, could not find anything in there at all. Just a
Well, as long as it isn't as hard as finding another apprentice.
Good luck, sir, and perhaps I'll be back for some ewe's milk later.
Oh, I hope so.
Good day to you.
Good day to all of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Zemba's walking away, she's just like, I wouldn't want that guy as a teacher. Terrible.
So, back at Griffin Hill, been here, the Temple of Shantae, the House of Shantae, quite nearby. So,
Darren would head on over.
okay. Where is it? So, can you put your things here?
Where?
Bottom left. Where is he? So, as you're walking round again, you can see large single tracts of land with men dressed in sort of ruddy brown hempen robes working away at the fields. This building is a large sort of wooden temple. It looks like it looks quite recent. Everything looks quite recently cut. It's quite very luscious with the vegetation and all the growing herbs around it. A lot of the vegetables look very delicious that are growing that you can see.
Okay, Darren will make his way up to the front door.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is open.
Yeah, he make his way inside.
Can't believe it. Is that on the wrong layer? No. Okay. Yeah. So you see a very elegantly clad woman. She's got like silken green robes and a sort of a headpiece which resembles a some form of vegetable, and she's poring over this altar which is laden with food.
Good day to you, madame.
She walks over. May the light of Shantae be with you, pilgrims.
Are you Matrias Torbe?
I am indeed. I assume you are not from Griffin Hill. I have not seen you before in my flock.
That is correct. We are here to help the townmaster deal with a number of issues that have come up lately. One being of which we have heard that a string of murders have taken place.
Ah, yes, at the mill. The cycle of life does continue, but they were stricken early.
Yes, it's a very sad tale. 2 apprentices I have spoken with the dwarf, Strongbulin.
Yes, the 2 within my flock taken too early, though they shall be rejuvenated, as Shanti wishes.
Were they devout men?
I would not say so, but they did attend when they needed it.
I see. Did they often need it, or?
I wouldn't say they needed Shanti's blessing. They weren't in that line of work. They were in the work of premature death rather than continuing life.
I see. How do you mean premature death?
Well, they worked at a butcher's.
Of course. Did you happen to, I don't suppose you happen to know these 2 boys at all well than if they were members of your flock?
I did. There was the Nevet child. Their family has been blessed with many children over the years. And of course, Grande, who sowed his seed in many women, yet it never caught.
I heard that Cain Grando was quite fond of the women, and a girl with dark hair in particular, someone who referred to herself as the beauty of the town. Are you aware of who this person might be?
I am. Her name is Cassandra Valet. She was not one suited to Cain, but she was in her latest fling, his latest fling.
Do you know where we could find this Cassandra?
Yes, she why? You're not suspecting her for these tragedies, are you?
I'm not suspecting anyone yet, but I think it's always worth looking into who might have most recently been familiar with the victims.
She lives to the southwest of Hamlet Hall. There is a cluster of houses. She lives in
one of the smallest ones. I believe she's taken up residence at Kane's old house.
Interesting. She lives to the southwest of Griffin Hill, you said?
She lives to the southwest of the town, the Griffin Hall, which is the town hall. So she lives
Okay.
within the town, but to the southwest. So, yeah. I'll show you when you're on the map.
Yeah. Interesting. Were they quite close?
As close as any couple. I really cannot say. I did not know them well. There, with the other murder victim, there was rumours going around the town about an incestuous relationship.
Rumors of incestuous relationship with the girl who works at the tavern, I assume.
Flora, yes. Edgar and Flora.
That's
I
interesting.
wouldn't put any credence into it. Small town talk.
I heard that you interred the bodies here. Maybe have a look.
I assume you have some sort of mandate for this?
We are here on behalf of the townmaster, but I can go fetch one if need be.
No, that is quite fine as long as the townmaster sent you. Yes. So she walks over to him there.
Bearing Fullers.
So when she opens the door, and the bodies aren't they're not linked to what they actually look like.
Yeah.
But you see two bodies lying on the slabs, and she gestures to this one, and she says, "This is Edgar, one of the younger siblings of the Nevet family. Like many in his family, I believe he was, as some say, grossly dim-witted. It was a big honor being made the butcher's apprentice. And as you all look on at this corpse, you can see rough clothes, that of a peasant. Both his hands have been removed, and you can see that there's a large, wound in his neck.
Okay.
And then she gestures to this body here. This is Kane. As you may know already, he's particularly liked in the village. I believe Chad Mullins was one of his friends. He had tumultuous relationships, but from everything I know, no one would have wanted to murder him. So you can see this body is garbed in very fancy clothes, and his body doesn't seem decayed at all, even though he was murdered first. You can see multiple small wounds across him. Again, he's missing both of his hands. You can see large slashes across his body, and one of his hands is sort of closed.
But you said he was missing both hands.
So they're both missing both hands.
I'm confused. You said his hand was closed, but he's missing both hands.
Oh, sorry. This one's missing both hands. This one's missing one hand, but the other one's detached, but it's holding something next to him.
Okay.
It's clenched, like he...
Can Darren try and see what he's holding?
Yeah. So would you try and pick the hand up?
Mm-hmm.
So as you pick the hand up, you can feel that it's really taut around whatever it is.
Yeah, Darren will still try and pry it open.
Yeah. So as you pry this hand open, it looks like a tuft of fur or hair.
you'd have to do a nature check to know.
Oh.
Anyone
And help.
good at nature?
Hang on.
Oh, Tacte maybe?
No,
I just got the +2 from
Yeah,
normal
we've got
intelligence.
+2 as well.
I've got 0, so +2 is the best one so far.
I think it's Joan again then.
It's got +2, right?
Yep. Do you want me with advantage?
Yeah, Darren would help.
Okay.
14.
So this tuft looks like a tuft of sheep's like wool.
Hmm.
And that was Kane holding that.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Why was he holding a sheep's fur?
I don't know. It's most curious.
So you can use medicine checks or other whatever you justify me to check the bodies over more thoroughly. As Madame Torbay has sort of gestured to let you have a look, seems the mayor sent you.
Darren would help, but he's not got good medicine at all, so 0 for me.
I think
Yeah,
Joan
but-
has. Oh, she has +1 medicine.
Better than mine.
Yeah, better than mine.
Monsieur
So-
Red Wolf,
+1 as well.
go for it, I say.
So I'll read out which body are you looking at first?
Oh,
Kane's,
I?
I guess.
You're looking at Kane's body first. So I'll read out what you notice first as you look at it. So Atakte, you
Yeah.
realise both his hands have been removed as before. But with your medicine check, it looks like they were cut cleanly off post-mortem. Probably by an incredibly sharp weapon. Nothing else as you look over the body looks like it was done after his death.
Mm.
There are more things on his body that you can inspect, so you can see the large slashing wounds as well.
Yeah, what do they look like they're from?
You can do a medicine check if you want.
Should help attack there.
So Tacte doing it. Okay, so Tacte, you see these large slashing wounds. You determine it. He probably died of blood loss from these wounds. With that roll, he probably determined that whatever it was probably quite. It wasn't huge, but it was incredibly sharp, and he must have bled out very quickly.
Hmm.
As you pour over his body as well, these look like the most obvious wounds, but he has lots of little marks that look like defensive injuries, like he might have fought back from his attacker.
Okay.
You also notice this guy, as his body hasn't decayed, that someone's probably cast gentle repose on it.
Okay.
With
said,
defensive wounds, are they really sharp as well?
Not so much. They look more like scratches.
Okay. What was you gonna say, Tom?
Just that the slashes look like they were made by something sharp, and the cut hands were done with a very sharp implement as well.
Yeah, they look very clean. If everyone would like to do an insight check.
Yeah.
I got a 3.
So Joan and Atakte, you'd probably think, well, the butcher's knives were missing, and it looks the right size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we look over Edgar's body?
Yeah, sure. First thing you'd notice, this guy is stiff and he's actively decaying.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, with Attacte's, like the comparison between the wounds on the arms, they look like they are also incredibly sharp,
Okay.
in the same sort of way, like they've been easily removed. But one thing you do see is the large bite wounds in the neck.
Bite wounds.
Yeah, you can tell from how ragged they are and just like torn out. But if you want to look at these more deeply, you can.
Aaron to help Attacte again.
Yeah, I want to know what they're from.
So that. So firstly, this large bite wound. It looks like it was the cause of death, and it looks like it was some kind of large animal. If you'd like to do a nature check, you might be able to discern what kind of animal.
Yeah, what kind of teeth are they?
Come on,
If-
Attacte.
Such a weird ability, the Blood Hunter thing. Because I'd get advantage to recall it if it's about fey, fiends, or undead.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be.
Okay. It's kind of weird that I get to like ask that, because then I'm getting information for free.
Yeah, but I guess he'd use it and realize it's not right.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Is anyone helping him?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
just
if
helping.
we're able, yeah, definitely.
So you can't work out what it is, but with the roll that you do get, it seems like there's only one set of incisor marks, and there seems to be a bruise directly where you might expect a second.
And was like standing next to the body, looking at Darian's like, doesn't look like my teeth or sort of fangs, do they? She sort of
Definitely not.
grins.
Wait, so one set of incisors,
Hmm.
and then where we'd
Humans, right?
expect canines,
Yeah.
there's bruises instead of cut.
Uh-huh.
It's a bear sheep.
It's a fucking sheep, yeah. Cool.
It's a were sheep.
It's gonna be a weird sheep, isn't it?
Yep.
And I, for one, am 100% here for it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm 100% killing it. Putting that abomination
No!
down.
He should come be my pet. I will kiss him and hug him and
And-
call him George.
I think, unless anyone has anything else to say, that might be a good place to end this session.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
place to end.
Yeah.